a gang of misfits and dope addicts are here.
I can't imagine why. Why
you really can't.
Is it on this? So
No.
there's some
No.
what? Huh?
Just-
Well, why would you play that? There's no significance to that.
Because Barberi over here has been badgering me about Christmas.
Would you play some damn Christmas music?
So what was that all mashup thing?
That
Foo
was
Fighters.
Foo Fighters on Saturday Night Live.
But not just Foo Fighters.
No, just Foo Fighters. Yeah.
That was their female backup
They
dancer.
have,
Oh.
backup singers. Yeah.
Oh, because it almost sounded like Ronnie, a little bit like Ronnie Spector.
No.
Which I really love that song, and she still does it.
Mm-hmm.
Letterman used to have her on every Christmas,
Singing that?
just to come and sing that song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I've discovered I have there's no tire factor for Foo for me. I
Really?
don't. Yeah.
Tire fat. What?
I don't. I am not
She will
tired.
not-
I will not.
She will not grow weary.
No.
Is what you're trying to say is you'd never get tired of hearing their music?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they started that off with Everlong, which is one of the first songs they ever had. You know, one of the Foo Fighter songs I've been exposed to the most.
Yeah.
And I listened to that version of it, and I go, yeah, I still not tired of it.
Well, good. I'm not either.
Love the
I think a lot of people aren't still tired of it or not tired of it anymore. Hi.
Am tired?
How are you guys?
No, not good.
Well, yeah, you
Did
got.
you
It
get
sounds
the
like
cold
you got a
finally?
cold.
I didn't instigate my no handshaking policy soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
I should have started it as soon as we started the road to the road home, but I didn't.
So we had a family Christmas party last night, and as everybody walked in the door, they said, "Oh, don't give me a hug. I have a cold." I said,
Yeah.
"It's okay. Everybody here has a cold. You're not making anybody sick. Everybody here is sick already."
I never tire of hearing about people's colds because everybody has one. I have not encountered a single person this last 2 weeks who isn't suffering, and I blame the air. A lot of it.
I'm sure that's
A lot
Not
of
helping.
it. You know, just oh my God, it's been so awful. But it'll be fairly nice today, and then maybe snow on Christmas. Maybe.
maybe.
Yeah. So, I just want to say I came in and found this gigantic, beautiful basket of goods on my desk. And every year, Nate Griffith gives me this basket of holiday goodies.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep wondering, well, I think it's partially because he loves the show, but it's also
No, he loves
specifically-
you. We
well,
don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, he loves the show. No, he loves the show, but I specifically had an interaction with him a few years ago now at Hoops Vision, and he was nervous about getting a laser eye surgery, and I happened to be out there, and I talked to him, and I think I set his mind at ease. And
So you're going to share it, right? With
No.
the show that he
No.
loves. He loves
No.
the show.
absolutely not. I take that home. That's
He didn't love your family. He's never met your family. He loves the show.
yeah. He loves the show, but he gives that to me specifically,
Thinking,
and I'm
Bill's a good
taking
guy.
it
Surely he
home.
will share this with the rest of the show that I love.
No, he knows
No?
that I take it home to my family.
It looks like there's one of them oatmeal chocolate chip cookies in there from Great Harvest.
Oh,
that are
you've
really,
been peering, have you? Peering
There's
into
some
my
of
gift
those.
basket.
There's some of those
Oh,
in
you
there.
you don't like oatmeal cookies, Gina?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Radio Gina doesn't like oatmeal cookies.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Real Gina
Yeah.
saw those and went, ooh.
Way to go. Your gluttony has revealed you. All right, we're going to take a break here and officially begin the program in just a couple of minutes. And you can participate in that beginning by being a part of the least popular feature we do, the least loved feature we do. And, you know, part of the reason people really dislike this feature is because of you all who participate in it.
I know.
So do it.
And we
Call
have-
us, 877-602-9696, and check into the Radio from Hell show.
You might win a $50 Wise Guys gift certificate
Whoa.
celebrating the last hurrah, which we will tell you more about.
Woo,
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So,
All that and more on the way. We'll officially begin the program coming up. Proflowers.com. Here's the deal. I send these not just in the holiday season, throughout the year. You know, you use the
Sure.
ProFlowers. But they wanted to tell you about their two holiday items that they would suggest to you. First of all, the candy cane roses, which I have, and they are beautiful. A great option for a holiday gift. But the other one, and I did this one last year, their classic mini Christmas tree. It's a small pine tree. Comes with ornaments, lights, the whole thing. Plug it right in, put the ornaments on it, and you've got your own tiny little festive Christmas tree for like your desk, or like if you live in an apartment and you just don't have the room. Send it to somebody.
And it's a real tree?
It's a real tree. And they have plants as well. They do plants at proflowers.com. But no matter what you choose, you're going to get 20% off any ProFlowers bouquet or plant of $29 or more. Now, here's how you get this deal. 20% off all bouquets of $29 or more this holiday season. Go to proflowers.com and use the code X96 at checkout. So proflowers.com, and the code is X96.
This holiday season, X96 and Mark Miller Subaru want to share the love with those who need it.
Sensuous. Sensuous. Spell it with me now. S-E-N-S-U-O-U-S. And now we'll use it in some dialogue between our two Utah friends, LeVar and LeGrand. Elder LeGrand R. Dunn is on the roof of his lovely West Valley bungalow installing some new shingles. His friend LeVar is down below on the porch having a nice cold glass of root beer. Again, the word is sensuous. Looks like you're doing a bang-up job with them shingles, LeGrand. That hole's being patched up just fine.
Well, I got to get this done before the snow flies. I don't want no leaking on my food storage room again this winter.
Well, if you don't want no leaking in the food storage, then you should keep LeGrand Jr. out of there.
What?
Nothing. Looks like it's kind of hot up there, LeGrand.
Yep. I'm as hot up here as a tin roof cat house.
You're what?
Nothing. Hey, what's that you're drinking down there?
Rut beer. Nice, ice-cold rut beer. Bet you could use some up there.
I could for sure. I'm as hot as a hot dog with mustard and relish.
Well, say, that's pretty hot. Bet you a nice cold Fanta root beer would sure go down good about now.
Yep, I'm really hot, LeVar. I'm so hot that if you was to, like, hold an old, dry Christmas tree next to me, it would just go up like a match.
What?
I'm a hot tamale, LeVar.
Well, that's hot. Hot for sure. Bet you could use a cold drink. Some Fanta root beer, maybe. Like the one I'm sitting here in the Shays Lounge drinking right now.
Yep. I'm a firecracker, LeVar.
Why would you say that, LeGrand?
Never mind. I think maybe I'll just get down. You know, climb all the way down the ladder and go all the way into the kitchen and maybe get myself a sandwich and a cold drink.
What? Cold drink like a rut beer?
Maybe.
Well, what kind of sandwich would you get?
Pickled egg and tuna. Why?
Well, I was thinking that since you was getting down the ladder and going into the house, I mean, since you was doing that, maybe you could get me a sandwich as well and another nice cold root beer too. I mean, since you was already thinking about going.
Look out below!
LeGrand, I was nearly... That flat of shingles nearly hit me. You should be more careful. That was an accident, wasn't it, LeGrand?
I want to participate.
Well, we got to open the show
I
first.
was under the impression that this week didn't count,
Well,
but there they are.
let's find out.
Okay.
We'll find out in just a second. If there is a line open, use it 877-602-9696.
Starting the show brought to you by Get Unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
The moon is near new moon. It is only 0.2% of full. The actual new moon will be, I guess, almost today.
So
Yeah.
new moon on Monday.
Yeah.
New
Well,
moon
it says
on
here near.
Monday.
Can you say near new?
Near new moon on Monday.
Please don't do anything that encourages her to sing.
I shouldn't enable that.
That's not because it's not singing.
Yeah.
And the moon will arise today at 7:53 a.m. Today being Monday. It's the 18th day of December in the year of our Lord 2017. And this is North America's most determined radio broadcast. Right?
Sure.
The Radio from Hell show. Starring the Lords of Morning Radio on this Hell show. Kerry Jackson right there. Look how determined he looks.
yeah, oh.
See, he's determined to get his
Tell
hat
by
and put it on.
my bleary eyes that I am determined.
I'm the determined Bill Allred, and the detrimental
The detrimental.
the detrimental Gina Barberi. That's probably one of the words coming up. The determined Gina Barberi, the senior executive producer of the Radio from Hell show, and determined to be lady in waiting for the show is Richard Thomas Stedman. Dylan Allred, no relation, is producing video, which you can see at x96.com/live. Yes, we are live streaming this radio broadcast right now. Live streaming. Okay. And Festus is here helping out as well.
No relation.
No relation? Okay, good. So yeah, there you go. Those are your check-ins. And it's National Roast a Suckling Pig Day.
Oh, yay.
So
Is that what you're having for dinner
well,
tonight?
I've got to go kill the pig later on, and I always feel bad because it has to be a little one. But that's what we do on National.
I'm sorry, pig. That's what the day says.
I don't have a
so-
choice here.
I may have to leave early because I have to hang him and let him drain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you do.
I know, but
Okay.
All right. Let's.
So, check-ins brought to you by Downtown SLC presents The Gateway is also excited to announce a new collaboration, The Last Hurrah. Presented by Comcast, NBC Universal. This free event will be open to the public on New Year's Eve from 8 p.m. to midnight, featuring live music on outdoor stages, as well as indoor games and a 21 and over speakeasy lounge. Last Hurrah is Utah's largest countdown celebration, and in honor of that, we have a $50 Wise Guys gift certificate, because, of course, Wise Guys right there at the Gateway.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's begin. Let's see if we have to do the show today. Let's start with Ben. Hello, Ben.
Ben?
Nope, hang on, Ben. Sorry.
wait.
Yeah, somebody had to push a button that made
Hi,
you
Ben.
hear bad music, Ben. I'm sorry about that.
Ben?
How we doing?
Fine, Ben. Thanks for calling from the International Space Station.
I'm in Deer Lodge, Montana.
Deer Lodge, Montana. What are you doing there?
Hauling a load to Missoula.
Hauling a load to Missoula.
All
That
right.
sounds like an album title.
Yeah.
Hi, folks. This is Randy Travis. My new song, Hauling a Load to Missoula. I took off my clothes and got good and drunk. Started driving to Missoula.
See, now he can sing.
Gotta get my load up there all the way.
Ben.
Deep inside Missoula.
Ben. Ben.
Yeah. How we doing?
Fine, Ben. Thanks for checking in.
Bye.
Keep your eyes on the road and your
Your
bye.
load tied down.
Yeah. All right. Sean. Hello, Sean.
Sean, what's up with you?
Hey, good morning, lords and ladies. This is it's an early morning.
Yeah, it is.
Are you hauling anything, Sean?
Only my ass to work.
Okay.
He's hauling ass. That's right. Where do you work, Sean?
I actually work for a very large tax preparation company. You
Oh.
know them?
Say hi to Mr. Block for us.
Will do.
All
Good
right.
call. Yes, but I got to get breakfast first. So I'm sitting here at Sills Cafe in Layton, getting ready to get some breakfast, and I got to get my driver's license renewed today at 8 a.m. So
fun.
Yeah.
What sort of breakfast have you ordered for yourself at Sills Cafe?
Well, I'm on a weight loss journey, so every day I get 2 eggs on a slice of toast.
Well, good, healthy breakfast. Take care of yourself, lose the weight, and get off our phone.
Fantastic. Thank you guys.
Thanks, Sean.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Let's go to Jake. Hello, Jake.
Good morning, lords and lady in waiting from Hill Air Force Base. How are you?
Good
Good morning, Jake. What's up today?
Not a whole lot. I feel bad I haven't called in 2 weeks. I've had the flu and bronchitis. It's my first day back to work.
You see,
Everybody's sick.
Well,
Everybody is sick.
Well, we missed you, Jake.
I most certainly missed y'all. I feel bad about not catching y'all whenever y'all are in town doing the live broadcast.
That's all right.
That's okay. Though maybe you can get a chance to come down to the road home on Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to be down there doing our show live.
I will most certainly try that. Like I've said before, I truly do appreciate what y'all do for the road home. And one quick input, I appreciated y'all having Savannah on y'all's show. Was that a week ago? I think it was.
Oh yeah, Savannah, our cute little friend who
bore her testimony that she liked girls and but it didn't change who she was.
And she's done some good charity work for the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, I also wanted to say that her parents have done a great job raising her, because I heard her say, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, please.
Yep.
All those manners you don't hear usually from the millennials these days.
Well,
I appreciated hearing her say that.
Little secret for you, I believe her parents are also from Texas, Jay. That's where that
God bless.
All right. Thanks for checking in.
Yep, y'all have a good one.
Thank you very much.
Y'all.
All right, let's go to a drinking game. Every time he says y'all, I'm dead now. So you know. Sean. Hi, Sean. Another Sean here.
Good morning, lords and lady in waiting.
Sean, what's up with you?
Oh, got to work this week.
Mm-hmm.
I took a few days off last week because everybody else will be off this week and next week.
So you got to cover.
Yeah, but I spent most of last week working from home, so, it feels like I shouldn't even be here, and I want to give about 30%.
Well, all right, then that's all I'm going to do, 30%. My brother Sean says 30%, that's what I'm doing today, only 30%.
All right.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you.
All right. Charles.
Hello. Thank you for letting me listen, lords and lady. How are you
Hello.
doing this morning?
We're well, thank you. Charles, what's up with you?
Oh, well, showed up to the job site I was sent to today. Supposed report time of 6 o'clock. I get here and there's nobody here, so it turns out it's actually probably a 7 o'clock start time. So I am currently giving it 0% right now.
You could take a nap in your car.
Yes, exactly.
So, it's the first thing that pops into Gina's mind.
Nap.
A nap in the car.
Opportunities
Yes.
for
A nap.
naps.
So was it your mistake or was it the workers, the office's mistake?
It was the job site. I mean, it was the office's mistake. They printed the wrong start time on this particular job site's time card.
Well, then I would just go home.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right.
I would, but it's too far.
Okay, Charles.
Thanks, Charles.
See you.
Thank you.
All right. Seizure Monica checking in. Tim the Tree Guy. Ben G is checking in. Good morning, lords and lady. Vicky and the Angel checking in. After a gut-wrenching loss by the Steelers, Angel is in mourning, and Vicky is playing nursemaid. Going to need at least 100% today. Cement Dave is checking in. Laura, the Alzheimer's lady here. Not too late to make a tax-deductible gift to the Alzheimer's Association. Just go to alz.org/donate.
Way to go, Laura.
Teacher Leslie checking in. Let's see. Huggy Bear. Zach the Appraiser. I was under the impression that this week we didn't have to try. But, okay.
Dick Clark is here.
Yes.
He's probably checking. Now, Dick Clark has tweeted this morning that he thinks I said we should grow our hair out. Well, he's going to.
Oh, you're actually here, Dick Clark.
Are you going to do it? Grow your hair out?
I mean, I was semi-joking, but actually after a good sleep on it, 100% committed.
Now, Dick Clark, when you were our intern, it was down to your shoulders. That's a good look for you. I think you should aim for that again.
Did you see that picture he tweeted of I didn't even recognize you, a young Dick Clark with shoulder-length hair What a good-looking young man.
Well, if you remember, you gave me the nickname Lady Killer Intern, which I like. That is 100% the truth. And I went home and my wife just laughed at me. But yeah, I miss the long hair. I'm
all right, do it.
Okay,
all right.
Cool.
He's your wingman, even in growing hair.
Yeah, thank you, Dick.
Let's see. So coming up, we've got some news. Amy Donaldson with sports. Also, she went to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little extra segment with Amy where she tells us about.
We're gonna go in the boners round 1 today too. There is a boner candidate, which is a racist story.
Okay.
And it has some roots here in Utah.
Oh, all right. Stand by for all of that. Coming up after these, shamrockplumbing.net.
Yep,
is the website.
Yep, I've got a problem, and I can't even describe it. But Shamrock Plumbing is going to have to come to the house and fix it. There's a tank in my basement that's supposed to regulate water pressure, and it starts banging. It starts going bang 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 bang.
Wow, don't worry about it. Just call Shamrock and they will take care of it.
Yeah, they'll fix it and figure out what the deal is. Now, Shamrock Plumbing, they are great plumbers, and also they sell water heaters, water softeners.
I had them install a water softener.
Yeah, I have a water softener from them and 2 water heaters, and you should check their prices before you buy anywhere else. Shamrock Plumbing has an entire department dedicated solely to that, and they do water purification as well. So call them, 801-295-1690, or go to shamrockplumbing.net.
Want music? Listen at 10 for a 1-hour non-stop music wingding on X96.
Sturdy. Spell it with me now. S-T-U-R-D-Y. And now we'll use it in a little bit of dialogue, starring as our Utah friends LeVar and LeGrand. The scene takes place in LeGrand's family room as this conversation ensues. Again, the word is sturdy.
A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Well, that does it. Took a lot of work to get the old family room ready for Christmas, but there's still one very important thing I got to do, LeVar, to make sure Christmas goes off without a hitch.
Well, what could you have possibly left out, LeGrand? I mean, the whole room looks like it jumped out of Good Housekeeping's Christmas issue.
Thanks.
I mean, the tree is up and beautifully decorated. There's mistletoe and holly wreaths in all the right places.
Don't stand under that mistletoe.
Oh, all right. And the stockings are hung by the chimbley with care.
Yeah.
What possibly could you have left out?
Well, just come on over here by the fireplace, LeVar. Come and take a good look inside the fireplace and tell me what you see.
Looks like an ordinary chimbley to me.
Look at all that soot. If I don't do something about all that soot, Sandy will pass us by this year.
I don't follow what you're saying.
Well, sturdy. The fireplace sturdy. That soot's nearly a half-inch thick.
Well, that's what happens with all the smoke. The chimbley gets sturdy.
Well, you know how particular and health-smart Sandy is.
Yeah.
Sandy won't come down any chimbley sturdy.
Me too. I feel the same way that Santa does.
Huh?
I mean, me neither. I won't come down a chimbley sturdy neither. That's funny.
You playing Sandy somewhere here in town, LeVar? I can't imagine you as a Santa Claus.
Oh, I'm a great Santa, LeGrand. I got a big bag of goodies, if you know what I mean.
No.
A big bag to stuff down the chimbley. But only if it's clean.
I better call someone to come over and clean this year chimbley, or Sandy won't come.
Stop it! You're killing me.
What?
Who are you gonna call? You gonna call one of them doctors that specializes in chimbleys? Maybe he could prescribe a shot of penicillin to clean it out.
No, I'm just gonna call a chimbley sweep. He'll bring a big long brush and then climb up on top and shove it down the flue.
Well, that sounds painful.
You know, LeVar, sometimes you really puzzle me.
Shove it down the flue. All right, 6:33. Sports with Amy Donaldson coming up. Stand by for that. But right now, big boy news and opinioendo brought to you by
Hope's Vision. There's no better time to make good on a promise to yourself to get the great vision you deserve. Schedule your free LASIK consultation today. 24 months, zero interest. Their See Clearly guarantee. You can't go wrong.
Gina, I'm beginning the news right here with a story for you. It's a story of an extremely gruesome nature, and so I know you'll like it.
I'm all ears.
Well, that's sort of applicable here.
Is it? Okay, I didn't know.
A Texas man has been sentenced to 52 years in prison after he admitted to decapitating, beheading his wife in front of the children.
Oh, geez.
David Dozat,
You send
24.
the kids to the bedroom and then
you say
that's a responsible thing to do.
You have your mother come and get the kids, and you're going to go spend some time with Grandma. I have some work to do. David Dozat pleaded guilty to the death of his wife Natasha, who was found with dozens of stab wounds in addition to the. Oh, by the way, he took the head and put it in the freezer.
That's what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Police
keep
went
it for
to
later.
Police went to the couple's mobile home in Belmead, Texas. After a concerned relative requested a welfare check, police officers spoke to David and Natasha outside their trailer. They both appeared to be calm, but 2 hours later, a relative called again saying he got a call from David who told him, "I just killed her." Actually, it says his girlfriend, but they had the same last name. So, he was, and he had blood all over his clothes and said, "Oh yeah, the head's in the freezer." And there was little doubt as to the guilt.
Yeah. You don't say.
No. All right, there was now. If you're planning on flying anywhere today, I'll bet your wife is working her butt off today.
Yeah, yesterday was a problem
Was
for
it
her as
yesterday?
well. Yeah,
because there was a power outage at the world's busiest airport, Atlanta. I think it's Hartsfield, isn't that what it's called?
Jackson Hartsfield.
So there was some kind of an underground fire yesterday, and it killed all of the power to the airport. I mean, no lights in the terminal, nothing. Passengers at the airport were in the dark when the lights went out about 1 p.m. yesterday. The outage halted all outgoing flights, and arriving planes were held on the ground at their point of departure. Brian, they were held on the tarmac.
On the tarmac.
Well, I hope there were some angels to help out.
Angels?
Angels who help out.
Are angels going to fix the power outage?
She means good Samaritans but she says angels. And that is a Delta hub. I mean, it's their home base, I think. Yeah, it is. It's Delta Airlines' home base, and we got a lot of Delta flights out of here, so it's a problem. If you're going to fly today, there are going to be delays, especially on Delta, but anywhere you're planning on going. So the tax bill.
It's
going to pass it.
Yeah.
And And it's a pile of crap, essentially.
Have you read it, Bill? Because Bob Corker hasn't.
No,
I haven't read it.
No, I didn't read it. But Mr. Corker, Senator Corker, this really benefits you and your real estate business. You stand to make millions of dollars.
I had no idea.
Well, I just wrote a 2-page summary that I went, and then I changed my vote to yes.
I had no idea.
Sure.
Are you sure that's in there?
Sure, Bob. I'm retiring, and I thought I'd build myself a house on Maui. President Trump and his numerous industries will benefit. Of course, Corker will benefit. Big corporations will benefit. And what will it do to you, all you average Americans? Well, do you own a home? Do you plan to buy a home? Do you make charitable contributions? Do you have kids? We have big families here in Utah. Do you live in a high-tax state like New York? Do you earn at least $500,000 a year? You're in trouble. We are all in trouble with this. For instance, you know how you can deduct your state taxes from your federal taxes when you file? That's going away.
That's thousands of dollars.
Yeah. So you then you're being double taxed essentially. The state has taxed you, and that's why the federal tax system has allowed you to deduct that, because that money has already been taxed by the state. But now, no. So they're going to tax you again, is essentially what it is. It's double taxation. That's just one of the things that will hurt you.
The long plan for this it's the starve the beast principle.
Yeah.
They want to have less money coming into the government, and this will do that. And then when that happens, they can say, well, we got to get rid of Social Security, we got to get rid of Medicare, we got to get rid of all of these things. We got to trim them down and make them smaller. That's the ultimate plan, because they don't want those social programs around.
They just want more poor people. They want people on the streets. They want people who need mental health issues, the wandering around. This is disastrous. Disastrous. Now, it can be changed.
Yeah.
If you throw the bums out.
Yes.
It can be changed. It'll go into effect. It'll have some ripples, but then
they're smart, because initially people are going to see more money on their paychecks.
Yeah.
So they're not going to throw
them.
But that's the point. Yeah. They're not going to throw the bums out, because they're going to say, "Well, I've got more money in my."
It's not going to be as significant as it once was.
But they'll see that and go, "Well, no, this is good. I thought this was going to be." They won't see the long.
But Gina, give people credit. If you take a survey, and I've got some polls here somewhere. Most people already think this is a bad.
Well, yeah, it's about 68% negative.
68% negative, but they don't care. Yeah. They're going to do it anyway.
Well, they'll cut everything but defense, as Atropos points out.
Yeah. So it will be disastrous for average Americans, but I predict that it will be disastrous for the Republicans. I heard Rich Lowry, who is the editor of the National Review, conservative.
I was going to say, certainly no liberal rag.
No, very, very respected conservative journal, and it's respected by the right and the left, because it tries to look at things as fairly as it can, but it does it from a conservative point of view. And Rich Lowry said, I heard him on an interview, he said, "Get ready. Republicans had better start getting ready, because a blue wave is coming."
Yay, a blue wave!
that will sweep away a lot of them. And that's a conservative Republican saying that. You know, he talks about the tax bill. This is what I mean, how he tries to look at things fairly. He said, there are things in there that are disastrous for the common person, the middle class Americans. They're disastrous. They're terrible. It's terrible. And it's in no way tax reform. They keep calling it tax reform, but it isn't. He said, now I like the fact that he believes in this kind of conservative thing, that they've reduced the amount of taxes, the percentage that corporations have to pay. He thinks that's a good thing, because he's a fiscal conservative guy. But he's also no dummy. Senator Orrin Hatch.
Yes.
Supports efforts in Utah and elsewhere to study the medicinal effects of marijuana, but condemns the federal government because there are too many regulations required of researchers who are trying to study marijuana. Under current law, those who want to complete research on the benefits of medical marijuana have to engage in a complex application process and interact with several federal agencies. The longer researchers have to wait, the longer patients have to suffer, Hatch said on Friday through his spokesman. The senator said the application process frequently requires more than a year for researchers to resolve. I think what Orrin is thinking, he said, I'm 83. I really don't have much time to get the first clinic that I'm going to own in Utah. I'll sell my supplements there, and I'll sell, medicinal cannabis. I made that as a joke, and then as I said it, I thought,
no,
that could be.
That's what he's thinking.
Yeah. Let's see, and finally this, and then we'll go to sports. You always give me a bad time, Gina, about when I talk about the Pope, and I speak of
you give him an Italian accent because he's not Italian. Yeah.
Pope Francis blew out his birthday candle. He's 81 years old, and you know what? That candle was on. It was on an extra long slice of pizza at the Vatican.
That still doesn't mean he has an Italian accent.
Pope Francis turned 81 on Sunday, and then told the children who use Vatican health services, "You need to eat of this pizza because I can't eat it myself."
No, how he said it.
Later, thousands of children in St. Peter's Square shouted birthday wishes to Pope Francis. He replied from his window overlooking the square, "Hey, thanks a lot. See you later." His birthday coincided with his weekly Sunday appearance to the faithful. Pizza for the Padre at the Vatican. All right, that's it. Sports and weather and traffic.
I'll do weather and traffic
All
first. Brought to you by Get Unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org. So, air is better and slightly warmer today. Highs right around 40. By the weekend, though, we're going to be bitter cold, like single-digit lows, maybe by like Sunday, like Christmas Eve. Very, very cold.
It is very, very cold.
Isn't it?
Yeah. What time? How cold did you say it would be?
Very, very.
No, but you gave the degrees?
Well, I said single digits by.
Oh, that is cold.
Yeah.
That's very cold.
We have an injury crash affecting drivers in West Jordan, 90 South Mountain View corridor. That's the only accident being reported so far this morning. You can always send us traffic if you see it. You do that by texting it to us, 33986.
All right. Is sports sponsored?
Yes. Guitar Czar has your music needs covered, and they'll price match advertised competitors' pricing. Get your shopping done and enter to win a new guitar. Located on 33rd South at 2950 East. Online at guitarzar.com.
Amy Donaldson Sports. Break.
Here she is, Amy Donaldson, wonderful sports reporter, sports columnist, and all-around good egg for helping out in Puerto Rico, and we'll talk about that in a minute. You can read Amy's stuff at DeseretNews.com. Do you have an inspiring column today?
I do indeed.
What is it?
It's about Catherine Reuter Adamek. She did not make the Olympic team, and she actually won a couple of medals in 2010. And she started in 2016 to try to make a comeback to make the 28 team. She narrowly missed it, and so I wrote about her decision to come back and whether or not she thought it was a good decision or whether.
So it's a column about failure?
It's a column about how we define failure.
How we
success,
deal with failure?
Or how we define it.
All right.
Yeah. So
thank you. So what's the sports? A lot of NFL stuff yesterday.
There's lots of stuff. Well, see, BYU, you can't skip over the BYU beating Utah.
Sure you can. You can skip that. Why?
In basketball?
In basketball, they had to wait. I think they lost 3 games. They were on a 3-game losing skid to Utah, and then they had to wait because the game got canceled. So they beat Utah 77-65. The Coug fans got to taunt Coach K with their safety gear.
Was there any fighting on the court?
No.
Good.
Just good game.
Good.
So, and then, the NFL was interesting for many reasons.
I didn't get to watch much. I watched a bit of the Patriots Pittsburgh game, and it was, even in the second quarter, I think it was just like, man, both teams were playing great.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just
Everyone,
back and forth.
Lots of sports people refer to that as the best NFL game of the year, but it had a controversial ending.
Yeah, what happened? I didn't see that.
So Roethlisberger throws a pass, and the receiver who catches it, when he hits the ground, the ball comes loose.
Mm-hmm.
But the ground is not. There's some debate now about whether or not the ground can cause a fumble or did he have control. So anyway, they first rule it a touchdown, which would have given them the win.
Mm-hmm.
Then they take it back. And so
they reviewed it.
And they give them.
Somebody said, but the Patriots. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So they, and then the next play, they get an interception, the Patriots, and intercept the ball and end the game. And Steelers fans are upset, but it was 27-24 victory for the Patriots.
Well, so everybody gets upset about that call, but what they should remember is that Roethlisberger threw an interception.
Yeah, at the end.
That's,
well,
I mean,
yeah.
so that
you want to be mad at something, be mad
at that.
I mean, he did have another play, to do it. So you can be mad at that. Yeah. And as my theory in sports is, it never comes down to one play. I mean, it's rare that a game is so even that it really is decided. It's really decided by a series of decisions or events. Maybe you had an opportunity earlier.
This didn't come down to one play. It came down to two.
Yeah, or more if you believe that. So anyway, there's another interesting thing going on in the NFL. The Panthers will be for sale. Jerry Richardson.
Because sex.
Because sexual harassment.
Again.
Really?
Sexual harassment.
Owner, what's his name?
He's the owner. Jerry Richardson. He owns the Panthers, and Sports Illustrated published a story. Oh, gosh. Now, my timeline's going to be off because I have not only been watching Olympic trials for the last 3 days, but I, as you know, was out of the country. So, but I want to say it was earlier, midweek last week. Anyway, it was about him. At least 4 former employees have come forward and said that he said inappropriate things to them, and there is some allegation of him actually putting his hands on somebody.
Well, that's just locker room talk. That's okay, isn't it?
Well, here's the thing. He offered to shave somebody's legs. Like, some of these things, I just want to say this. Some of these things that are coming out as details of sexual. What? Seriously,
Well,
do you want to vacuum my house while you're at it?
It's all these weird little fetishes that come forward.
They said every week there was a jean day where the women in the office wore jeans, and he would line them up and say,
"Oh my God!"
And no, you didn't hear it. And say, "Show me how you wiggle to get into those tight jeans."
Oh my God!
Like he wanted them to do this.
See, Carrie knows that's over the line.
What makes you think that that's okay?
Everybody knows that's over the line.
No. I've had so many men say to me, "I just don't know where the line is." I said, it's really clear. Are you touching somebody? Are you touching yourself?
What do you mean? I don't know where the line is.
Yeah,
wiggle into your jeans.
It is odd, these weird little fetishes and things. Can I, you want to watch me take a shower? What?
No.
I mean, but
nope.
I mean,
I don't want to watch myself take a shower.
I don't know how the guy gets off on saying, "Do you want me to watch me take a shower?"
Well, that's where we have to go back to. This is about power. This is all a good reminder that this is about power. It is not about sex. That's why we keep trying to put it in that framework where it's normal and we want to relate it to something that we enjoy. Yes. It's not. It's about power. It's about subjugating these women.
I enjoy showering, but
but not imposing that on everybody around you at work. See.
So anyway, that's why he's selling the team.
But he's probably still going to be investigated for what happened. Sure. And
he's already paid out. There's the he's a double whammy because he's the sexist stuff.
Yeah.
And then he had to pay out a settlement to a trainer. I think it was a trainer or a scout.
A scout.
For a racist comment. So he's covering all the bases.
He's a peach.
So he's selling the team because undoubtedly when they had a meeting, the other owners would vote him out.
No, I think that he's selling the team because he believes it will. His lawyers have told him he'll have a better chance of avoiding the investigation, which is going to be more details and more problems come out, and probably more payouts. But it's probably not going to stop that investigation.
Yeah.
And I read that P. Diddy is looking at buying the team.
That would be awesome. That would be so great. I would love to see him in that boardroom.
Yeah.
But I did include a story that you guys have posted on your website. Where they asked Jerry Jones of the Cowboys to talk about Jerry Richardson selling the team, and he's very sad about it. But there's like the greatest quote ever, and I hope I still, where he talks about he has a big heart, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of a Donald Trump comment where he just kind of went off on a tangent, and he said, "Oh, and it's not even his heart. I mean, seriously, he had a heart transplant." I was like, what?
Okay.
Like
Is that-
really? Did he?
Yeah.
He-
No,
he
that's
has a
true.
heart
It's
transplant?
true.
Oh.
Yeah. But I just thought, what? It was just the greatest quote in an otherwise normal reaction story. So I just threw that. Yeah, there. He's a battler. He's a big man with a big heart. And by the way, that's somebody else's heart. He had a heart transplant.
And your husband chimes in, Jerry Richardson owns Hardee's, some Carl's Jr.'s, and lots of Denny's. That explains it all.
Yeah.
Oh, and Diddy says if he buys the Panthers, he wants to hire Colin Kaepernick as the quarterback.
Oh, there you go.
Be interesting because he's got Cam Newton. So,
Mhm.
but let's see. Oh, and tonight in women's basketball, Utah will take on Utah State and Logan. The Utah Jazz beat the Celtics on Friday, lost to the Cavaliers on Saturday. They play tonight, I believe, in Houston.
Yes.
And then winter sports, Utah snowboarder Faye Galini earns her first career podium. She's probably going to make the Olympic team.
Is that two names?
Faye Galini?
Yeah.
No.
It's
Faye
Utah
Galini.
sports snowboarder Faye Galini.
Faye Galini. Yep.
The great Faye Galini.
It is. She is. She is great. She was in Africa with me this summer, so it was fun to see her have some success. And then the U.S. short track team is finalized. You have some couple Olympic veterans, a lot of newcomers, and J.R. Selsky's probably the name most people know. He's the world record holder in the 500, but he will not skate the 500 in the Olympics because of the selection process. He fell, and so he will only skate the 1,000, 1,500, and the relay.
All right.
So.
And just to go back to the NFL for a second, because I didn't get a chance to follow any of the games.
The Cowboys won.
Green Bay.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. He did come back and play this week, didn't he? And what happened?
And they lost to the Panthers.
They lost, so he did. Oh, that was the Panthers game. All right. Yeah. Anything else?
Well, you missed the big story.
Okay, what is it? I thought that not having your own heart was a big story.
That's
a good one.
That's a good one. I'll give you that. But WWE issued a statement Friday when asked about the rumor that Vince McMahon is looking to reboot the failed XFL football league. You remember the XFL?
Yeah.
Deadspin's David Bixenspan passed along a statement. This is what it said. Vince McMahon has established and is personally funding a separate entity from WWE, Alpha Entertainment, to explore investment opportunities across the sports and entertainment landscapes, including professional football. Mr. McMahon has nothing further to announce at this time. So it's possible that he's going to try to bring back the XFL.
I don't think it's a good time for that.
Or maybe he wants to buy the Panthers. I don't know.
Everybody wants. You get to buy the Panthers.
Everybody's
and
buying
You
them.
get to buy the.
Thank you, Amy Donaldson. Read Amy Donaldson's sports reporting and columns in the Deseret News, DeseretNews.com.
Now, Amy has agreed to stick around and tell us about her trip to Puerto Rico. You remember, that island is still in a lot of trouble.
No, everything's fine there.
That island
right?
full of American citizens.
Yes, exactly. Great place. And
What are they doing there? Why did they go there? Why did Americans go down there?
Listen, I'm working on moving there, so.
Well,
I'll
if you have
let
any any questions for Amy, why not?
Yeah,
bring them
go
in.
ahead and text.
Text them or call.
877-602-9696 or text your questions 33986.
The ramp to northbound I-215 west at 35th South. There's a crash there off to the left shoulder. Crash westbound 90th South at Mountain View Corridor, left lane being affected there. Looks like that's it this morning, unless you see something else and say, hey, why didn't you tell people about this? And I'd say, well, I don't know until you text it to me at 33986.
Ways to go. All right. We'll be back with Puerto Rico. Amy coming up. And round one of your boner voting as well. OmahaSteaks.com.
I know my brother doesn't listen to this show, so I can say I just did the X96 deal and sent him a big box of meat.
And I know my sister-in-law doesn't listen to this show. But Mia's going to be getting them as well. Omaha Steaks, this is the deal. For only $49.99, you can get the family gift pack when you go to omahasteaks.com and enter the code X96 in their search bar. It's kind of tricky. You're going to be searching their website for X96. And this is what you're going to get, 75% off all of the items that you're going to get. Just for our listeners, here's what you get for less than $50. That's the package. There's some shipping involved, but for less than $50, you get this. 2 filet mignons, 2 top sirloins, 2 boneless pork chops, 4 boneless chicken breasts, 4 kielbasa sausages, 4 burgers, 4 potatoes au gratin, 4 caramel apple tartlets, 1 Omaha steak seasoning packet, and because you heard it here, you're going to get 4 additional kielbasa sausages for free. So go to omahasteaks.com, find their search bar, search their website for X96, hit enter, and you'll get 75% savings. This gift is guaranteed to be a hit.
On this week's episode of the Let's Go Eat Show, I chat with
Organ. Spell it with me now. O-R-G-A-N. And now we'll use it in some dialogue. Here they are then, our 2 Utah men, Elder LeGrand R. Dunn Jr. and his disreputable friend LeVar. Again, the word is organ.
Thanks for joining me here to the hospital and keeping me company, LeVar. Brother Jensen from my ward is having his prostate tuned up, and we're taking turns waiting at the hospital for word. He hasn't got any kin or nothing, so the elders' quorum is helping out.
Least I can do, LeGrand. You've always been a good friend to me, so I thought I could just keep you from getting bored. Hospitals give me the willies, though.
Ooh, yeah, not the best place to be spending the day, but Elder Jensen needs our support. I always give blood, too, just as long as I'm here.
They don't let me donate blood, you know, because of that unfortunate dose of hepatitis I had a few years back.
I remember. You were as yellow as a lemon for about a month.
That's right.
Looked like one of them Simpsons cartoon characters.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, hand me that People magazine there, would you?
This one here with Mickey Mantle on the cover?
Yeah.
Too bad about the Mick kicking off like that right after a liver transplant.
Well, he abused himself, LeVar. Smoking and drinking. You should take a listen.
You know, my cousin up in Portland had to get a transplant. He's doing fine. That was a couple of years ago.
Oh, I didn't know you had kin up to Portland in the Northwest there.
Oh, yeah. My entire family comes from Oregon. We got started in Eugene, Oregon, but then moved to Portland, Oregon when I was just a shaver.
Well, how come you moved to Portland? Your dad get a better job?
Nah, we moved to be closer to Mom after she was committed to the Oregon State Mental Hospital just outside of Portland. Turned out okay, though, because the welfare office in Portland was open on Saturday.
By the way, LeVar, what kind of transplant did your cousin get up there in Oregon?
Hair plugs. Got himself a hair transplant.
Well, that's real serious surgery.
Hey, now don't you go making light of that. Them things can get infected. Stick. Spell it with me now. S-T-I-C-K. And now we'll use it in some dialogue between our 2 Utah friends, Elder LeGrand R. Dunn Jr. and his wayward friend LeVar. The boys have gone to a local building supply store for plumbing fixtures. Let's listen as a conversation ensues. Again, the word is stick.
I think you're going to need a few different things to fix up your problem, LeVar. Just a tube of caulk ain't going to do the trick.
Well, I'll take your best advice on this job, LeGrand. I mean, that toilet's got to where it's leaking so bad, just putting towels around the base ain't holding back the flow no more. I mean, it worked for a couple of months, but this morning I was ankle deep in water, clear out to the kitchen. What do I need to buy here?
Well, first off, you're going to need a wax seal, and then you're going to need to replace that float ball thingy.
Uh-huh.
And then caulking around the base should finish you up.
Well, I guess they should have all that stuff here to Chris and Dick.
Should have. Them 2 guys know how to stock hardware.
Oh, you know them?
Oh, yeah, sure. They're around here all the time. Oh, look. There's one of them now.
Well, who is it? It's Chris?
No, Stick.
The guy with the beard, Stick?
No, the guy in the Oshkosh overhaul, Stick. The guy with the beard ain't nobody.
Hey, LeGrand, look.
What?
Looky, celebrity shop here to Chris and Dick's. Look over there, KSL people. Stick Norris.
It's not him. Oh, but it's Stick's co-worker, KSL people, Bruce Lindsay.
Yeah, Bruce Lindsay. Hey, how come he has a different last name than his dad? Why ain't his last name Norse like his old man's?
Radio from Hell, proudly giving you incomplete sports and traffic with Gina Barberi on X96.
All right, 7:03. We got round one of your boner voting coming up. Stand by for that.
Now, Amy Donaldson is still here in the studio with us, and Amy went to down to Puerto Rico to report on what's going on down there and to kind of help out. And let me just, before you start, Amy, this just came in from the New York Times. Puerto Rico's governor has ordered a recount of the deaths from Hurricane Maria. The official toll is 64, but a Times analysis has put it around at least 1,000 people dead from
How could it be that
the hurricane.
Off?
Well, we'll find out, hopefully. Why did you go down there?
Okay, so I was invited actually from the state that I think you remember, Lieutenant Governor Spencer Cox went last month.
Yeah.
So the state is kind of Governor Herbert's brother and son both served missions in Puerto Rico. So there's this, right after the hurricane happened, a group of returned missionaries said, hey, let's raise money. We love these people. Some of those people who live, there's a huge contingent of Puerto Ricans that have transplanted in Utah. Most of them are LDS, so they just started networking and started raising money, and businesses got involved and said, we'll either donate products or we'll give them to you at costs. And JetBlue offered to fly stuff to the island for, pennies, literally pennies. And so I wrote the first story on it, and so they invited me. They said, you want to come? And you can write about it, and when you're not writing, you can help us. And I said, absolutely. And
that's right up Amy's alley.
Yeah. It was. I didn't even tell my husband until I was like, oh, by the way, tomorrow I'm leaving for Puerto Rico.
Well, all right, I guess.
So, and I had to tell my bosses, and we did end up getting a photographer to come with us. But yeah, so when there's two groups, there's a group of two. The business is Lendio. There are a couple of businessmen from Lendio, both returned missionaries. They said, hey, let's get a group of father and sons to go. And they got a bunch of people to donate, humanitarian kits like buckets and water purification systems and lights from Goal Zero, which is a Utah company.
Yeah, great. That's a great
amazing company. And honestly, that stuff that was like magic. That made you instantly a hero.
I have some of it, and it's magic to me.
Yeah, no, but I mean, imagine if you were there were people who had lived for 3 months with the light of their cell phone at night.
The people are still in hospitals that have no power.
No power. They're running on generator power, which is, if you haven't been around a generator, it's horribly noisy. Smelly. It smells like gas or diesel. It's just a horrible toxic smell.
What percentage of the island is still without power?
So that's the debate. So here's the problem with numbers is that you can shade them. You asked how could the death count be off that much? Yeah. Because there are a number of ways. But what the Times did was they looked at how many deaths happened before at this time over this period of time, the year before and the few years before that. And what they found is 1,000 more deaths in 3 months than have occurred in the last couple of years.
So it's got to be.
So that's absolutely. And then we talked to people, and I met people down there who could tell you, I have a sister or a cousin or a friend that worked in a hospital. The gentleman who used to be a mission president there who heads up Light Up Puerto Rico, which is actually doing much more difficult work. They're taking Goal Zero solar-powered generators to people who are on life support or really sick or who just got out of the hospital and need air conditioning. And they go around and install those. And that work continues when he's not there, but he's there at least once a month. He's going back on the 20th. And they're going to the parts of the island that don't have. So it's really weird. You'll see, like we went to the mall. It's called the Mall of Americas. And it was packed. And I thought, oh, this is going to be a ridiculous story. This place is better than Rio, right? It's cleaner. There's air conditioning. The mall was jam-packed. It looked like Christmas at any mall.
But is that why the mall's jam-packed? Because people don't have power at home?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
But you don't know that at first. I'm like, well, what are we going to do?
They go there to charge their cell phones.
We're going to go there to be in the light, you don't realize what it's like to just be in the dark, like how, depressing and how that changes your relationships and all the things you live without. I asked one woman, like I asked a lot of people, what do they miss and about their life before? For her, it was cheese. Like, imagine you just can't have cheese because you don't have a refrigerator.
Yeah,
right? And so you go to bed at 5 or...
I should move to Puerto Rico.
But
can live without cheese.
So I spent a day with
see ya
Jorge Alvarado and Light Up Puerto Rico, and that was an interesting experience. And that's where I met the woman who told me about babies in the NICU dying because they didn't have power. People burying a relative in the backyard because they didn't have anybody to come and get the body, and it was decaying.
Ooh.
And obviously it's hot. It's really hot there. And she had taken up a collection with her neighbors to buy power poles, and then we couldn't decide because of the language barrier if it was paying extra, tipping, or bribing the public works people to come and string the lights, string
Probably
the wire,
bribing,
so
probably.
that they could get power, because there's so many. They're right next to a neighborhood that's near this mall. It's just a crazy juxtaposition.
Well, now, the United States government, I mean, this is a U.S. territory, sent some help down there. What happened?
So I think there's an ineptness at every level. So I think, remember we had this issue a little bit in New Orleans.
Yeah.
When your local government is either crippled by the storm or not good at dealing with, a massive problem. I mean, this isn't something I think that they were prepared for, first of all.
Their power company was under the iron fist of this one guy. And this is a company that supplied all the power to the island. And there was a lot of corruption going on there, and no money went back into the power company to improve it. And so it's really decrepit anyway.
Yeah. So you look, and it's really like the infrastructure is really absolutely horrible. Yeah. So that's your first thing. So it's not going to survive anything, let alone a Category 4 hurricane. So that was decimated. But then a lot of people have just left. So you have somewhere between 100,000, 200,000 people who just decided, I either can't, they have health problems, or they have the option of leaving the island.
Have relatives in the States.
Yeah.
Why
they
stick
can,
around? If you don't have power for months, and you have an aunt that lives in Miami, why wouldn't you go there?
Or even if you have a marketable skill, like you're a teacher or a nurse, you can leave. So that's the problem, is those people have left. But the people we met that stayed, that can help in the recovery, are amazing people. And there's one woman running a bakery on a generator that she can only run part of the day because it's so expensive. And so we go in her store, and the store is pretty much without power. There's a generator running when we got there, but she turns it off and on to conserve. She stays there because it's the only place people can get supplies in that neighborhood. And and she's 70 years old. And her employee is her brother, who is in his late 60s.
So is there any light at the end of the tunnel?
So the light at the end of the tunnel, I think, is that there are enough people going there. Now, I noticed the UN was there the same weekend I was there.
Yeah.
And they did the same thing I did. Went around. I mean, you feel overwhelmed at first, but I talked to one guy he works for Franklin Covey, and he's staying there. And he said, it's like that story about the starfish. All the starfish are all over the beach, and the kids are throwing one starfish at a time back in the ocean. And somebody comes by and says, "You're never going to save all these starfish, and you're not going to make a difference." And the kid says, "I make a difference for the one starfish that I throw back in the water." And that's what you have to really kind of focus on. I've already heard back from one of the guys we wrote about that he's gotten so many phone calls on his cell phone about the coverage that he thinks he's going to get power in the next couple days. So this is what we do. You just have to keep going and keep talking and keep exposing this. And they are counting people who are living on generator power. And one guy told me it costs $200 every 4 days to power that generator.
Jeez.
I have a question about the power company that was hired.
Whitefish Power?
Whitefish Power from Montana. Has there been any further developments on that?
Not that I know of. I mean, that just kind of dropped off the face of the planet. Right. We couldn't even get referrals to people. I did have one guy find me the mayor of one of these towns. So we saw very few government officials. We went very rural.
I don't want to talk.
No, but we talked. I don't even know. I wondered if some of them just left, if they aren't even there, because we don't really know. And then you have really amazing, like a doctor who's organized mental health professionals to send them out. Because, I mean, one woman was just devastated. Her entire town was gone. Like, there's nothing there. You go there and there's a bunch of foundations. So, I mean, there's so many layers of this, and this is going to be
all the trees are gone.
Well, actually, the crazy thing is, in some areas, Mother Nature has bounced back. I look at pictures from 3 months ago, and I look at what it looks like now, and it's like a jungle. It's just but all the baseball fields, how much Puerto Rico loves baseball, they're all dumps now. They've turned them into dumps.
Actual dumps.
Actual dumps. Like, you bring your crap, because it's rotting, right? It got wet, it got ruined, and nobody comes and picks it up. So you have to figure out how to haul it otherwise you take it out and set it somewhere else. Yeah. But you have to get it out of your house. I mean, everybody I went to had some kind of mold-covered something or other
Yeah,
in their home, whether it was books or a couch or a mattress they were trying to sleep on. I mean, it's just unlike anything. And I went to New Orleans as well after, and it just reminds me of that. You have inept local government. You have a state government that doesn't want. They're in a
FEMA
really,
is down there. They're doing a great job. Their help is. Where are they? What's going on?
And that's the other thing. We did ask everyone, have you seen or heard from FEMA? And there were a couple people who said, oh, yeah, we saw them 2 days ago. So we're there at almost 90 days. And they're saying 2 days before. And you have to sign a paper saying what you get. Here's the interesting thing about the deaths. If a medical examiner does not certify the death, you don't get FEMA help. So,
and they can't possibly certify them all, right?
how can they when they say, there was a woman we interviewed, it's in my story that ran Sunday, that her father died a couple days before the hurricane, and they just called her up afterwards and said, hey, we don't have anywhere to store this body. We don't have any way to bury it. So we're just going to depose.
You have to understand there's a process.
Gina, she has no idea where her dad is. No idea where his body is. I can't imagine that, just that one detail.
And this is American citizens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can donate to Light Up Puerto Rico online. There's a Facebook page. There are groups going every month. I know there are volunteer opportunities if people are interested. I would suggest if you are inclined to do this, it's not very expensive, and it is an amazing. It's my favorite trip I've ever taken.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you
Hands
did
down.
a series of stories, and they're all.
One ran yesterday, and then there'll be. I think another one's going to come out maybe Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know the run dates yet, but there'll be several, and some of them will get into this political, precarious situation they're in, where they can't criticize the government.
DeseretNews.com. It was not very much about sports.
Hey, I mentioned a baseball field.
That's
there
true.
you go. Okay.
Crash at the ramp northbound I-215 westbound at 35th South off to the left shoulder. And I'm refreshing the UDOT website. Looks like that is about it this morning. Check our message stream quickly, 33986. If you see anything, nope. Looks good.
All right, we've got Boners Round 1 coming up in just a minute. Here are your candidates. Boner candidate number 1. Look, he didn't just investigate it. He lived it. Boner candidate number 2. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, oh, oh. And boner candidate number 3. Yes, it's history. Racist history.
All right, round 1 of your boner voting, big boy news, opinioendo, all coming up after these.
Spent a little time at the Central 9th Market.
If you want to shop and dine local this holiday season, that's the place you need to go.
It's down there, Harvey Milk Boulevard and Jefferson Street, just a few steps away from the 9th South track station. The Central 9th Market, it's the right spot for holiday celebrations and shopping local. You
can shop and then go get a drink at the Water Witch.
Oh, there you go. I'm in.
Mediterranean Small Plates. Laziz Kitchen is there with authentic Middle Eastern food. The Troubadour Salon, Water Witch Bar, which turns 1 year old this month. And to celebrate, the Water Witch Bar is now open for lunch. New hours, 12 p.m. to 2 a.m., Tuesday through Sunday, closed Monday. Getting to the Central 9th Market is really easy with 9th South Track Station just across the street. So go to the Central 9th Market today. Discover what it means to shop and dine at businesses that are helping sustain our community and us. We live here.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you a 1 hour non-stop music.
Flay. Flay. Spell it with me now. F-L-A-Y. And now we'll use it in some dialogue as LeVar and LeGrand have gone to the food court at the mall for lunch. Again, the word is flay.
Oh, I am full. That was a mighty good meal, LeVar.
And Pretty good.
Hey, you think that me having a large order of chili cheese fries at the A&W was good for me?
Well, I don't know if it's good for you or bad for you, but you eating them is bad for me. I
What?
mean, we're going to have to drive home with the windows of the pickup rolled down for sure. What a smell.
Sorry. Well, I wonder if them fries was good for Mart. I'm kind of getting chest painy since I ate them.
Probably just some big old gas bubble trapped near your left ventricle. You know, you should have what I had for lunch. A hard, healthy sandwich from Chick-fil-A.
Oh.
Eating them fries was worse for you than eating a big old hunk of filet mignon. All that fry grease is going to go right to your arteries.
Oh, hey, how come they call a filet mignon a filet mignon?
I don't know. I guess because it's a flame-broiled piece of meat that is so thick and heavy that when you eat it, you get sleepy and start to yawn. Therefore, i.e. and etc., a filet mignon.
Oh, filet mignon.
Yeah, filet mignon.
Ooh, looky here. Here's a blood pressure machine here to the drugstore in the mall. Let's see. Let's pop in a quarter, and I'll check my blood pressure. See if them fries has pushed it up any.
All right, go ahead.
I'm sort of not feeling too
Put
good.
the quarter in there, then. Put it in. Go.
You'll have to squeeze your forearm a little. You must be absolutely still but relaxed during the test.
What's it mean? It's going to squeeze your arm there.
What's it doing now? It's like clamped down on me like some kind of ferocious animal.
I don't know. What? Oh my God! What's this flashing light mean?
I don't know, but I
It's
think
flashing real fast.
it feels like my heart is starting to speed up really fast.
You don't look so good, LeGrand.
I'm feeling kind of weak and pale, like.
What? You're pale. You're drooling. What's wrong with you?
I'm not feeling too well. Get my arm out of here.
I can't get your arm out. It's stuck on there.
Can't take this anymore. It's squeezing my arm too hard. I'm feeling faint. Everything's going kind of black.
Somebody call the paramedics.
Test is finished. I will display the results. Let me remove your forearm. I didn't get enough information that time to give you accurate readings for everything. If you want to try again, push the start button to begin the test.
No fetching way. I'm not going through that again.
Well, said you didn't get it right the first time.
I'm not going through that again. Let's just run over to the Chick-fil-A and get me a soft serve ice cream.
Okay.
That are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior, and you'll decide with your vote which of these three is the worst. Which of these three in round one deserve to go to Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day? If they win here, they go up against the winner of round two. That happens at 8:20. Boner Fight at 9:20. So 2 candidates now, then a third candidate after the news. Once you've heard all three, you'll vote. One of you lucky random Boner voters will receive
I can't buy it, gotta win it. Radio from Hell Boner t-shirt courtesy of Excel Automotive Repair. Radio from Hell's official auto mechanics. Don't buy a lemon. Try Excel Automotive's $50 bumper-to-bumper used car check over before you buy. Limit 2 cars per $50.
All right. here's wait a second, I gotta do that and
just
that.
quickly, people
Yeah.
were asking about where to donate to that program that Amy was part of for Puerto Rico. And if you follow our social media, Radio from Hell, on Twitter or Facebook, all the information is there.
All right, here's Boner candidate number 1. He didn't just investigate it, he lived it. A top official at the Office of Congressional Ethics, which investigates allegations of misconduct against lawmakers, has been accused, or I guess misconduct of lawmakers, has been accused of assaulting and verbally abusing 2 women during a drunken bar brawl, according to a federal court lawsuit filed in Pennsylvania. Omar Ashmawi, the office's staff director and chief counselor, was at the Dimmock Inn in Milford, Pennsylvania, when he allegedly became verbally abusive toward the wife of the owner of the restaurant, Dawn Jorgensen, and a female bartender, alleges the complaint, which was obtained by Foreign Policy, who published this report and gave it to the New York Post. Ashwami, who appeared to be visibly intoxicated, then unjustifiably threw and or pushed Mrs. Johnson down to the floor and also verbally assaulted the bartender, according to the report. Now, Mr. Ashmawi was never arrested or charged with a crime, but months later, 2 other men were slapped with assault charges. He falsely claimed that the plaintiff and 1 or 2 other men assaulted him, choked him, and threw him to the ground and kicked him. So some guys intervened when he was being abusive to the bartender and the owner of the wife's owner. They said one of the guys who did this, Greg Matucci is his name, said Mr. Ashwawi threatened to use his position as the staff director and chief counsel of the Office of Congressional Ethics to induce a criminal proceeding against me. Even though he was the one being verbally abusive, we just tried to stop him. Boner candidate number 1, he didn't just investigate it, he lived it. Boner candidate number 2, ho, 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 oh, 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 Jesse Berube. I think we probably have a mugshot at x96.com/live. Jesse Berube got stuck inside of a chimney in...
Every year we have one of these.
California.
Every year.
Burglary suspect reportedly... he had to call the police on himself earlier this week because he got stuck in a chimney. According to police, Mr. Berube was attempting to rob a business in Citrus Heights, California, and thought he could just slide through the chimney. But once again, he found himself stuck on Wednesday. No way out. Berube was reportedly able to move just enough. There he is with soot all over his face at x96.com/live. He was able to move just enough to get out his cell phone and dial 911. They arrived. They had to use special equipment to get him out.
I wonder if he tries a lie at first. Oh, I was...
It doesn't say here.
I tripped and fell, and
authorities are
just
referring.
come clean.
Our authorities are referring to him as a criminal Santa, but says he doesn't have the same skills as the real Santa
or the costume.
Yeah, that's true. Boner candidate number 2. Ho ho ho! Oh oh oh! Coming up in a moment. Boner candidate number 3. Yes, it's history, racist history, and it has ties to Utah.
All right, Boner candidate number 3 for round 1, coming up after this big boy news and opinioendo brought to you by.
Have you been to Moochie's lately? They're cooking up something new and exciting every day, as well as their famous authentic Philly cheesesteaks and the best handmade meatball sandwiches, Moochie's.
I was going to have a second more to pour myself some water because usually isn't it like Moochie's meatballs and more? I thought I had the meatballs and more. No,
Moochie's meatballs and more.
I already got the water. Yeah. So Carrie, I'm going to start the news with a story for you, and you can imagine how this headline caught my eye, and I thought, Carrie, scientists say Japanese monkeys. Did you?
I'm glad you had that.
You knew already.
Just anticipated.
Monkeys.
Japanese monkeys are having sexual interactions with deer.
With deer? Oh, there they are. Oh, my. There we are.
Interspecies?
Well,
it appears adolescent female monkeys in Japan have repeatedly engaged in sexual behavior with sika deer for reasons that are not yet clear. I think they're just horny. Maybe there aren't enough men. The study published in the peer-reviewed Archives of Sexual Behavior follows up on a single report from earlier this year of a male macaque mounting a female sika deer on Yakushima Island. That report was intriguing, but a co-author of a new study told The Guardian it was essentially anecdotal, even the sexual nature of this interaction was not clearly demonstrated, said Noelle Gunst, who I'm sure you're familiar with.
Oh, yes. Noelle, yes.
Yes, a researcher at Lethbridge in Canada. She and her colleagues sought to nail down the nature of the mounting. Wouldn't you? Yeah. Looking at a different set of relationships, adolescent female monkeys and deer, particularly male deer in Manu, Japan. The researchers found interactions that definitely seemed to be sexual in nature. The female monkeys were climbing onto the deer and grinding against their backs. And there is video if you'd like to.
No, I'm good.
I don't want.
I'm good.
Nobody seems to know. I mean, it's pretty much sexual interaction between animals of different species are not unheard of, but they're very rare.
Yes.
Weird. All right. Donald Trump and his administration has announced that they will drop climate change from U.S. national security strategy. The stance represents a sharp change from Obama administration's strategies, which placed climate change as one of the main dangers facing the nation and made building international consensus on containing global warming a national security problem.
The United States.
But Trump says now we're going to drop that. We're not going to do that. You know who else is very concerned about climate change and studies it pretty seriously and intently? That's the military.
Yeah.
The military knows there's climate change, and they're trying to anticipate and prepare for how that may affect the globe in terms of conflict. When people start running out of water. When people start running out of water, or
so
when
how do they
their
do
homes,
that when your administration is not supportive of that?
I don't know. President Trump's transition team say they plan to request back many tens of thousands of emails from special counsel Robert Mueller that they believed were unlawfully obtained. So Mueller got all of these emails very easily, apparently.
He just asked for them.
Yeah.
And they signed off. May I have these?
Yes.
Yes. Sign here. I don't know why this is even a story.
The transition team, which operated between Trump's election and his inauguration, will send a letter to Mueller claiming some emails were privileged communications and need to be returned. You know what Mueller's going to say? No, I won't return them.
Well, and apparently asking the Russians for Hillary's emails, that's patriotic. That's okay. You know, those illegally obtained. This is the FBI is in tatters. They're just terrible.
Yeah.
The United States.
A spokesman for Mueller's office stood by the way the special counsel obtained the documents. We have obtained them in the course of our ongoing criminal investigation. We have secured either the account owner's consent or appropriate criminal processes, said spokesman Peter Carr. But Trump's team is trying to get them back. They're very worried about it.
Wrong.
Now, there was a story that said that the Trump administration had banned the Center for Disease Control from using 7 words. The words were science-based, evidence-based, entitlement, diversity, transgender, vulnerable, and fetus. The Center for Disease Control, which studies health issues, were told not to use those words. Policy analysts with the CDC were given the list of forbidden words at a meeting on Thursday with senior officials who oversee the budget, according to the Washington Post. So, The CDC has now tried to spin this story. The director of the CDC has tried to spin this story and say, well, no, they were just telling us we probably shouldn't use those words in a budget presentation.
They're inflammatory words,
like,
science-based.
We shouldn't put them in. And so she's trying to soften it and make it look like it's. But, and then I thought, well, let's see. She's the director of the CDC. I wonder who appointed her to that position, because that's how you get that job.
Yeah.
And then it's Donald Trump appointed her to that position.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why she's trying to spin it and soften it and make it seem like it's really no big deal that they can't say those things. So now here, this is a story in Utah. This is a quote. Melissa George said, I wish I was breastfeeding so I could go on a break anytime I wanted.
Who said that?
A supervisor said that to her, according to a complaint that she made to an employee hotline in August of 2004. Ms. George was in her mid-20s. Her supervisor was a man more than twice her age. After the supervisor said and did more that George thought constituted discrimination and retaliation, including recruiting a man to replace her because she was breastfeeding at work, she complained to the state agency assigned to investigate that, the Utah Anti-Discrimination and Labor Division. Okay? So she went through the channel. She said, I feel like I was discriminated against. Breastfeeding at work is not a crime. I should have been able to do that. Well, the staff there at the Utah Administration and Labor Division, this is a story in the Salt Lake Tribune, found no evidence to support her complaint and denied her any recourse. They just thought I was a young kid complaining.
Well,
she said.
Because it's a he said, she said. So how do you have proof?
You go invest. But listen further to the story. Lots of employees have felt like her. A legislative audit released in January found that over 5 years, the division ruled in favor of employees 0.7% of the time. 0.7.
Only 0.7% of the time.
The audit said that the investigations they do are inadequate, they aren't well trained, and they don't have the means to get the necessary evidence. The audit confirmed a belief among many Utah employment attorneys about what complainants who believe they were discriminated against can expect from that agency. Nothing. So attorneys who work on these cases said
nothing will come from
nothing
this.
will come of it. They never, and apparently it's because they just look at the claim and go, well, it's a he said, she said, so what can we do? Sorry. They do what you did. They don't go investigate. Mm-hmm. They don't go talk to, did anybody hear this? That you should go to the office. You should call people in one at a time. Everybody who works there, did you see this? Did you hear that?
That takes money.
But they don't do it. Well, they've got a budget. They've got people.
They don't want the problem.
Mm.
It's just a problem. We don't want problems.
Yeah.
And that just goes away.
And let me tell you, breastfeeding is not a break.
Yeah.
Breastfeeding is not a smoke break.
I was
You're
always
not relaxing for 10 minutes.
I was always jealous of you when you went to the supply closet.
The
sat next to a broom.
It was the prize closet. So if you want a prize from X96 in the late,
probably some breast milk on it somewhere.
2004, 5, 6, 7 in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in there breastfeeding.
Yeah. Hey, and finally this story, and then we'll get to boner candidate number 3. I saw this story in the Tribune on the weekend, and it's kind of interesting. So there's a guy here in Utah who is selling a 7-foot-tall statue of Jar Jar Binks.
No one will buy that.
For $1,000, you can get this statue. A Utah man recently put up an ad offering up the Goofy Gungan, who is not only about the most hated character in the Star Wars franchise, but one of the most reviled characters in the history of movies.
Oh, yeah.
So the Trib contacted the owner, who wanted to be anonymous.
That's understandable.
Yeah. He said he got it 20 years ago from a Utah grocery store.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if he made it himself.
But I mean, where did the grocery store get it? He said he also
it had to have been some kind of promotional item.
He also got a Yoda.
Mm.
And he says, I just want to clear out my storage room, and so I thought I'd get rid of this.
No one will want that.
Not for $1,000.
You leave it on a park strip, no one will take it.
It's a 7.
You have a crappy old couch next to a giant statue of Jar Jar Binks. The crappy old couch will be taken before the Jar Jar Binks statue.
You know what? You're a Gunganist. That's what you are. I think, you know who I know would love to have it? My daughter, Julie.
Well,
she loved Jar Jar Binks when she was little and saw that movie.
Christmas is coming up, so
$1,000, I'm not buying it.
Gina B, no likey. The gun.
She's a Gunganist, Jar Jar.
I see you, sir.
You, sir. Nice to the gun.
I couldn't. Good Lord. Ooh, I could never figure out what that thing.
Boss Nass will have something to say.
Jar Jar, no. Or Watto. Hey, what's the matter? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, none of these are racist, are
none
they?
of them. All right. Let's do.
Watto had flies buzzing around him.
Hey!
Well, we could go into more details about Watto. Yeah. He's racist, but and then let's start with the Trade Federation aliens. Let's go there.
All right. Let's do traffic and weather and do boner candidate number 3.
Okay, weather. Air is better.
That's good.
Go outside and take a deep breath today. And a little bit warmer today, highs around 40. By the weekend, though, we're going to be very, very cold, single-digit overnight lows by the weekend. I'm going to refresh our UDOT website here quickly. So I give you the latest crash, westbound I-215. This is at Redwood Road, off to the right shoulder. Crash eastbound I-80 on exit 117. That's the ramp to southbound I-215 west, off to the left shoulder there. Crash at the ramp northbound I-215 35th south off to the left shoulder as well. That's traffic.
Here's boner candidate number 3. Yes, it's history, racist history. And I hope Dylan has a picture of this sign that he'll put up at
I know where you're going
x96.com/live. A restaurant in Texas is defending itself against racism allegations after hanging a sign that uses a derogatory term for African Americans and depicts a blackface caricature. The sign, which features the cartoonish blackface with Coon Chicken Inn printed on the grinning teeth, has made the rounds on social media, and people are calling it racist and infuriating. Cook's Garage in Lubbock claims the controversial sign is part of history. Yes, it is. The restaurant, which reportedly features other vintage signs as part of the aesthetic, denied any racist intent in a now-deleted Facebook post. Aunt Jemima, Mammies, and lots of other black collectibles are highly sought after, as is Americana collectibles with white characters, said the message from the restaurant. The Coon Chicken Inn was an actual restaurant started in the 1920s, and again, we want to stress, we do not intend to offend anyone. We are preserving a part of history that should remind us all of senseless racial prejudice, but that's really not the point. The Coon Chicken Inn, it started in Utah.
There it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In Sugar House.
See, I read the story and it kept saying Texas, and I was like, isn't that in Utah?
Yeah, they started it in, it was started in Utah by a couple. And they franchised it. It only got to 4 locations. I think there was one in California. There was one, but they wanted to franchise it. It was very popular. It's x96.com/live. You can see pictures of it. These are old pictures from the Salt Lake Tribune had in their archives. It's fascinating piece of history, no doubt.
Let's just say if they have a bunch of this stuff at the restaurant and it's about history or what, if they put it all on a wall and with some sort of explanation as to why it's there.
I don't think it's appropriate there. It's just not appropriate. I have an old pad that those kind of notepads that they're 3D and you hang on the wall and then you can replace the notepads on them. You know, so just to write notes and to make memory. It's Aunt Jemima, and she's holding a broom. I have a poster. I think I have it in my desk somewhere that I bought in New Orleans of an advertisement for some product, and it's got a smiling darky on it. And I used to have that Aunt Jemima hanging in my house. I don't anymore. I don't even know. I don't think I even still have it. That poster I've never put up anywhere for people to look at. Now, it's interesting. I will look at it occasionally myself. Yeah.
I have it if you want it.
You have it? Because I think it was your mom's. It came from her grandmother, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, no, I don't think it's appropriate. It is appropriate in some setting, but not there.
In a museum.
Yeah.
Probably not a restaurant.
Boner candidate number 3. Yeah, it's history, racist history.
All right, let's review the first 2 and vote.
We have boner candidate number 1. Well, he didn't just investigate it, he lived it. A House ethics investigator abused and assaulted some women in a brawl at a bar. Boner candidate number 2. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, oh, oh. A would-be robber in California, trying to slide down the chimney to steal stuff. He got stuck. And boner candidate number 3, yeah, it's history, racist history.
All right, so this is round 1 of your boner voting. Here we go. You got to decide which one of these is the worst, which one should go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. Go up against winner of round 2. Round 2 happens at 8:20. Boner fight at 9:20. All right, 1, 2, or 3, candidate number. Remember it, put it in the message of a text, and then send that text to 33986. Call 877-602-9696, or go to x96.com and look for the box that says December 18, round 1 on it, and vote there. If you don't see the box, refresh. It should appear. Less than 300 seconds to get your vote in. Let's go, round 1.
John Smith kicks off a 1-hour non-stop music wingding at the conclusion of Radio from Hell on X96.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of 2 such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders! Today, we join our elders as they are about to encounter the Borg for the 2nd time.
Man, these Borg ships sure are sparsely decorated and poorly lit.
Well, I sure hope we get to spend more time with the Borg this time. I mean, last time we didn't even get to the first discussion.
I am 5 of 7. I am here to show you the way.
Hey, that's why we're here too.
Hello, Mr. 5 of 7. We met your cousin 3 of 7 last time. I'm Elder Christiansen, and this is Elder Jensen.
Hi.
We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know.
The Mormons.
Oh.
Yes, your exploits are known throughout the collective.
Hey, Lehigh, we're famous, huh?
All Borg are one. Whatever one experiences becomes available to all.
Well, that would speed up fast and testimony meetings. Say, where are you taking us?
To her chambers. She is expecting you.
I don't like the sound of that.
Welcome, elders. I have been anticipating your arrival.
Hi, ma'am. I'm Lehigh, and he's Butch.
Hi.
I have wonderful plans for you boys. Together we will rule over the perfect Borg galaxy.
Well, I hope this can wait until after our mission is over.
Ma'am, who exactly are you, and why do you have plans for us?
I am the Borg.
Well, I thought they were the Borg.
They are, and I am. And once we assimilate you two, you will be Borg as well.
Oh, I get it. He's a Borg, she's a Borg. Everywhere a Borg, old MacDonald had a Borg.
Knock it off, Butch.
Oh.
We better come up with a plan quick or we're going to be assimilated.
Okay, Ms. Borg, tell you what. I'll give you my new fender flares and the luggage rack off of Lehigh's bike, and we'll just be on our way.
You will look cute in black rubber suits, and I have picked out some special prosthetic parts for each of you. Soon you will be my lieutenants, my consorts, my special friends. Together we will assimilate the Federation, then the Romulans, then the Cardassians, and then whoever else we can find. And we will have fun doing it. Hook them to the assimilator.
Hey, come on, let us go!
Nothing like the assimilation of new young men to make one forget about how Locutus left me without saying goodbye.
Something is wrong. The assimilation process has failed. They have already been assimilated by a stronger force than the Borg.
Quick, shut down the machinery. The feedback could contaminate the collective. What have you done to my beloved collective?
Well, once you hooked us up to that gizmo over there, all of our experiences were spread throughout the entire Borg race.
Lehigh and I were able to bear our testimonies to more than 7 billion beings at one time.
It was kind of like General Conference, except without the crying babies and the old people going to sleep.
Yeah.
We not only got to give the first discussion to the Borg, but to pretty much teach the whole gospel to all of them at once. Could it be? Have the Borg finally met their match? Could Butch and Lehigh be immune to the assimilation process? Tune in next time to hear the Borg say...
I am Elder 5 of 7, and this is my companion 4 of 9. We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You know, the Mormons.
No! You've turned the most feared race in the galaxy into a bunch of jello-loving, suburban-driving moral goody-goodies.
Well, you think that people were afraid of you before. Wait until you start approaching planets now. Man, I'd hate to play word ball against these guys.
I think our work here is done. Hey, can we count all 7 billion as converts?
Well, technically we didn't baptize them. We'll have to check with Zone Leader Hansen just to be sure.
What about me? I was queen. I was the most powerful being in the galaxy, ruler of an entire race of warriors. What am I supposed to do now?
Well, I guess you are now the most powerful Relief Society president in the galaxy. Congratulations. Gotta go.
Bye-bye, sister.
On the next artificial limb-attaching episode of Space Elders!
Radio from Hell with Kerry Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi on X96.
All right, it's time to award round 2 of your boner voting.
And round 2 of the boner voting is brought to you in part by vegetarian lasagna. An all-vegetable lasagna.
I don't see the point of that.
Well, you wouldn't eat lasagna anyway.
Cheese.
Covered with cheese.
Shut up. You no longer have to meet a creepy guy in a parking lot to get a good deal on a used smartphone. Bad Apple buys, sells, and will trade in used cell phones. Unlike the creepy parking lot guy, they guarantee their refurbished phones. Information and more at badapplerepair.com.
So we had boner candidate number 1. He didn't just investigate, he lived it. A House ethics official abused, and he's an investigator for the House Ethics Committee, abused and assaulted women at a bar. Boner candidate number 2, ho, 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 oh, oh, oh. That's a guy going down the chimney trying to rob stuff, and he got stuck. And boner candidate number 3, yes, it's history. It's racist history. A restaurant putting up the racist sign with a guy in blackface. A lot of outrage over that. By the way, that Coon Chicken Inn, that image of that black grinning black man with a bald head was gigantic, and the doorway to the restaurant was through his mouth. Weird. Really
Classy.
weird. And they serve chicken and all of that. Yeah. Boner candidate number 3. Let's see now. Philip Corker won the Boner t-shirt. Congratulations to him. And the winner by quite a large margin. Boner candidate number 1, he didn't just investigate it, he
Really?
lived it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was the weak one. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you know?
What do I know?
Yeah, what do
I
you
don't
know?
vote for him.
So are we?
That is the winner of round 1. It will go forward to Boner Fight at 9:20, going up against the winner of round 2. That happens at 8:20.
Yeah. So just a couple of quick things here. Last night I went to see a play again. I've been seeing a lot of plays being produced by this company. Sackerson is what they call the company. And last night I went to see this play called "Do You Want to See Me Naked?"
Well,
no.
It's a one-woman show. It lasts about an hour, a little less than an hour, I think. It is brilliant.
Do you see her naked?
I won't tell you. You should go see it. It is absolutely brilliant, discussing women's issues, body issues, you know, how all of these things that go through, I'm sure, a woman's mind. It's great. The woman who's doing the performance is incredibly good, and the woman who wrote it, as a matter of fact, the woman who did the performance was so good, I didn't realize someone else had written it. You know, because I thought she was there just telling. But it's from a perspective of she is a bit overweight Mormon woman.
Really?
Yeah, and it's
so it's a local, locally written.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I don't have those details right in front of me, but it was written by a woman from Provo. Elizabeth Golden is the actress, and it's directed by the woman who wrote it, Morag Shepherd. And there's only one performance left tonight here in Salt Lake. You can go to Sackerson. That's Sackerson, Sackerson.org. I'll post I have posted something about it already on Twitter. Just follow at RFH Bill. Find mine. You'll find out about it. And also, it's a benefit performance. They're getting the money together, and they're going to go to Tucson for a fringe festival. Take it there. So it's really, really good. It's funny, and it's very funny, and it's also kind of sad, and you know. All right. So the other thing I wanted to mention. So I was just talking to my friend Dawn on Sunday morning. We get together and have coffee, and he's my brother-in-law. And I don't know why this story came up, but you'll remember that I had a hamster years ago. Remember?
Long time ago.
It's almost probably 20 years ago. So I had this little hamster that I really liked him. His name was Ted. I named him after one of our salespeople.
Yes.
Because he was very much like the salesperson, timid and shied away from things. And so anyway, Ted did what hamsters do. After about 3 years, he got enormous tumors and died.
Yes.
And you know, I said to a person who knows about that kind of thing, should I do anything about? Should I take it to the vet? And no, that's what they do.
That's what they do.
They usually get tumors and then they die. And I felt really bad about it. And so we buried we weren't married then, but my wife and I put Ted in a little shoebox, and we took him out into the back of the house and dug a little grave and put him down in the dirt. And she made a really nice headstone out of a cement paver for Ted, and she painted it in 3D and pretty permanent paint. You know, here lies Ted. We loved him, and then the dates of his birth and, as best we could determine, and his death, and put it there. And so that was a house we had up in the Avenues 20 some odd years ago, more than 20 years ago. And I drive by that house very occasionally, and I wonder if Ted's grave and
usually when you bury a pet in the yard and move, there's no
you don't put
marker.
No.
Yeah.
But this was a nice little headstone. It looked really good. My wife is very talented with this kind of. So I've wondered, and I keep wondering. So then I thought, well, maybe I should just go knock on the door and say, hi, I used to live here. It'd be interesting to see the inside of the house again. But I was wondering if I could go out in the backyard and look for my hamster's grave.
So you're wondering if you should do that?
Should I do that?
Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take Dylan and we'll film it.
There you go.
Don't be filming before you ask.
You don't need to get
Don't have them open the door.
No, I wouldn't do that. I'll set up. Maybe I'll set it up and say, "Can we film it?" And then, would you mind going in and opening the door again? That's what they do. So So I should look for.
Sure.
Ted still has a place in my heart. It's weird. He was just a dumb hamster. I have a picture of me with Ted somewhere.
You should post it.
I'll find it and post it.
Please do.
Ted.
Crash northbound I-15 at 110th South off to the right shoulder. Crash southbound I-15 milepost 280. This is in Lehigh. Crash westbound I-215 south at milepost 13, Redwood Road, off to the right shoulder. Crash eastbound I-80, exit 117. That's the ramp to southbound I-215 west in Salt Lake. That is also off to the left shoulder. Crash at the ramp northbound I-215 35th south, left shoulder as well. That's traffic.
All right. Thank you very much.
My wife is upset that I didn't mention that her niece is also in this one-woman show. She plays the violin.
I'm talking TV with Bill Frost coming up after these. Stand by for that. OmahaSteaks.com is the website, and this is the great deal. And again, we've sent it, we've received it, and we heartily endorse it. Omaha Steaks are only $49.99. You can get the family gift pack when you go to OmahaSteaks.com, and on their search bar, you're going to search their website for X96. Hit enter, 75% off. Right now, giving exclusive savings just to our listeners. This is what you get for less than $50. Here's the package. 2 filet mignons, 2 top sirloins, 2 boneless pork chops, 4 boneless chicken breasts, 4 kielbasa sausages, 4 burgers, 4 potatoes au gratin, 4 caramel apple tartlets, 1 Omaha Steaks seasoning packet, and because you're listening to X96, they're going to throw in 4 additional kielbasa sausages for free. So go to omahasteaks.com, find their search bar, search their website for X96 to get the 75% savings. The gift is guaranteed to be a hit.
X96 invites you to help people experiencing homelessness this holiday season. Tonight, almost 3,000 people, including 800 children, will be safe and warm in the Road Homes emergency shelters or housing programs.
Drop off blankets, coats, boots, hats, and gloves at any Rocky Mountain Chevy dealer, and join us on December 20th and 21st as we do our annual broadcast from the Road Home. X96 will broadcast live for 2 days from the Road Home's Salt Lake Community Shelter to raise funds to provide shelter, supportive services, and housing all year long. I had an email also from Little Weenie Intern.
Oh, who's supposed to be here today?
Is he?
Wednesdays.
No. Kerry, he quit.
Well,
remember?
I know. He's supposed to be here to offer our best friends of the program Little Weenies.
And he's quit us.
Because in the morning, we ask the important question, Little Smokies or Little Polskins.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, people had not tried either.
Nope.
So, and it was great. We still have the crock pots, the little crock pots under my desk.
Thanks, Dominic.
From Gina's cousin. This is your little, it says, Dear Radio from Hell cast. This is your former Little Weenie intern again. I have a request that I wish to run by all of you. I'm a bit nervous to ask you all of this, but...
No, you've abandoned us.
I have to try. I've been bummed out all week because of having to quit my internship. And I've debated pulling a Michael Jordan or more recently a Brett Favre and coming out of retirement, or a Lance Armstrong. And coming out of retirement, but alas, I cannot. I have too much school on Wednesdays, and yes, I do want more time with my wife. But that being said, I want to be a part of the show in some way so bad that I have an idea. I want to be the first Radio from Hell email news intern or something to that effect. Now, hear me out. This is my idea for it. As you know, I live in Ogden, and I get the Standard Examiner newspaper. As I read this paper, I often find news that seems to be in the paper for no other reason than to fill newspaper space. The news in Ogden is outright boring. My idea is that I could write a weekly email and share some of these news stories in a fun, comedic way. You could call it the Ogden Weenie News or something similar. If you like the Weenie News that week, you could read it on the air. I think that this would be a great opportunity for me to improve my writing skills, and that's why I look at it as an internship still. I know Richie's in charge of the internship, so of course ask him for his input about this as well. And maybe I could make a rare occasional visit to the studio, weenies and all. I almost did not write to you to ask this, but I thought, why would they even consider doing this for me? But then I thought, well, I was a good little weenie intern, and maybe they will cut me a break. At least give me a week or two to see if I can do it. And if y'all want to let me do something else similar to this, or if you have any other ideas, please just let me know. Maybe this was a bad idea. If it is, let me know. Thanks for letting me listen and cook the weenies. Love you, former little weenie intern Ben.
Well, Richie, of course,
comes Stedman.
in charge of the interns. He probably wants to weigh in.
He can. Yeah, we can have him help us out. If he'd like to help us out with the big ass show, we could use a hand.
Oh. And Ben, I'll send him an email. But if you want to send some news items from Ogden,
sure.
No guarantee that they would make the air, but.
And I'm being sincere, Ben. And if you in the future you clear your life up, you can come in and be here with us in the morning because I like you well enough.
He's a great guy.
The problem is he kind of sounds like he wants to rewrite the news in Ogden, whereas we probably just want him to send us copies of the articles.
Well, let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can do.
And that sort of go against your rule about professionals doing comedy?
Well, I'm not saying he'll make the cut.
Hmm.
You know, I'm not saying it'll get on, but see what he can do.
The old studio with substandard equipment in Ogden. Now, Carrie, Bill, and Gina have a big, fancy studio in beautiful downtown Salt Lake. And they still find things to bitch about. X96.
Talking TV with Bill Frost, brought to you by Haster Games. They have the best selection of the latest board games, Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. It's a great place to stay and play. Remember, Haster has it, 6831 South State, and online at hastergames.com.
Here he is, the man who knows more about TV than even your TV repairman. There aren't any TV repairmen anymore, are there?
Oh, I'm sure they're around, but usually you just go buy one.
Yeah.
It's broke. I'll buy a new one.
Yeah, chuck it out and buy a new one. Here's Bill Frost. He's the TV columnist for City Weekly. He also does the Ocho for City Weekly. He's the host of a podcast, a co-host of a podcast with Tommy Milagro.
Yeah.
It's called TV Tan.
Yeah.
And in the latest-ish episode of that podcast...
It's up right now. Yeah, been up for almost a week. Dylan Allred.
No relation.
I understand
Not that we know of, no.
People are saying, and I am hearing...
Many people are saying.
That it's the best episode you've ever done.
Oh, yeah.
So I've heard that.
It's supersized. It's like an hour and a half.
Wow.
And Dylan got a lovely parting gift of Sugar House whiskey.
Well, that's very nice.
That's why Bill wants to be on
all
your
guests of the TV10 podcast receive a parting gift of some sort of alcohol.
So you've had my son, who is a minor functionary here.
A
minor functionary.
Wow.
Dylan Allred.
Your camera angles are going to get really bad.
Minor.
on the Radio from Hell show, but has never asked one of the principal players.
Well, we record late in the evening on a Monday night usually. Mm-hmm. I didn't think you would be available for that.
No exceptions for being able to snag
Don't you know who he is?
Yeah, I don't really care.
Oh, there's the camera.
See?
There you go.
That's what you're going to get
The
now.
forehead cam.
Thanks, Dylan.
X96.com/live for
Thanks,
the
Dylan.
unflattering camera angle for
All right.
Bill.
What's on TV this week?
There's only 2 new things debuting this week, as it's almost Christmassy. Tomorrow night on Spike, I Am Sam Kinison, a 2-hour documentary about the late comedian.
Really?
Yeah, on Spike.
Lot of footage.
A lot of footage. You got 2 hours to fill. I don't think it really tells you much of anything you didn't already know if you're a Sam Kinison fan. But if you're unfamiliar with his work before he died on the highway,
Was it? It was my perception with Sam Kinison that he was really funny for a while.
Yeah.
And
His
then
bit got old.
Well, it kind of he didn't know where to take it, and kind of wore thin in that kind of ranting, yelling sort of thing he did.
Yeah.
Am I remember
Well,
that correctly?
it's like Bobcat Goldthwait's stand-up routine.
or Dice Clay, right?
Yeah,
around
or
the same
Dice.
time.
You know, they were these characters, and you got tired of the character after a while.
Yeah.
Although funny, Gilbert has never suffered from that.
He was. I mean, I remember the first time I saw him, and it was probably one of his earliest appearances was on one of the late night talk shows, and he was really funny. So, Anyway, so it's on Spike
on
tomorrow.
Spike tomorrow night, and debuting season 4 on Netflix Friday. Peaky Blinders.
That's funny because I've been watching that. And I still have it there, and I kept hearing that there was going to be another one, but it's been a long time.
Here it is.
Yeah. That's
on Friday.
great. That's great.
So you got time to catch up. And so I made a list, and it's at x96.com of 25 shows I think you should maybe catch up on over the holidays.
Oh,
had you not, these are 25 of my favorites from 2017. I doubt there's time for this whole list, but
let's go.
I'll give you a few. If you want to read the whole thing, x96.com. Baskets.
Yes. Yes.
Also on this list, I mentioned where you can stream them.
Oh, okay. That's even
So
better.
seasons 1 and 2 are available on Hulu for Baskets.
And it comes back in January with the
Yes, it does. Yeah. Better Call Saul.
Yes.
Seasons 1 and 2 available on Netflix. Season 3, not yet. Better Things. Season 1 on Hulu. That's Pamela Adlon.
I love that show. It's one of the best on TV.
BoJack Horseman.
I got
Netflix.
it. I've never watched a single episode. Yeah.
Oh, I think you should.
I know. I keep hearing how good it is.
I think you should. Brockmire, a favorite of Dylan Allred, I mentioned on the podcast.
That's right, Brockmire.
That's pretty much only available on demand or the IFC app.
And they're doing another season.
They
of
are,
that,
yes. Hank Azaria. Crashing with Pete Holmes.
Yes.
HBO. Basically a semi-autobiographical comedian show.
Yes, very interesting.
But a very different one from the rest of them.
Yes.
Available on HBO Go and on demand. Crazy Head.
What's that?
It is a British sci-fi comedy thriller. Came out on Netflix. Might have been even last year, but it's two young women who hunt demons. But it's different than the usual demon hunting show. It's very
there's
funny.
a lot of those.
A lot of those. This one is probably the funniest of them all. It's
All right.
very much a comedy. The Detour, which was a TBS series.
Yeah,
very funny show.
It is, and I watched about 5 episodes, but I don't know. I just
First season's available on Hulu. Second season on a TBS app and on demand.
And is that it for the Detour?
They're doing another season coming up. I believe that also starts in January.
Okay.
Glow, Netflix.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. Show we were talking about earlier. Good Behavior.
Yeah.
First season's on Hulu.
I just started watching that. It's quite good.
Yes, Michelle Dockery.
We're letting the second season load up in the DVR so we can just pound through them.
Halt and Catch Fire, an AMC series about the dawn of the personal computer. It's kind of like Mad Men meets Silicon Valley.
Mm-hmm.
4 seasons available on Netflix. It's over now,
Okay.
so you don't have to worry about catching up. The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, I need to get around to that
Season 1 on Hulu. This one is actually still on. It's still running. Happy.
Yes.
On Sci-Fi.
That just started.
Yeah.
didn't it?
I've just been watching. I've been watching that. I've watched both of the first 2 episodes.
Yep.
I like it.
On the Sci-Fi app and on demand.
It's weird.
Very weird. Speaking of weird, Lady Dynamite.
Yep.
Netflix for
I love Maria
seasons
Bamford.
1 and 2.
That first season I watched. I haven't watched season 2, but the first season was so funny.
Oh yeah, second season, no exception.
Okay.
And it's shorter.
Mm.
Legion FX.
Excellent.
Yes.
My daughter, I think that's her favorite show. She's 13, and she just loved that.
Currently available on Hulu. Love Judd Apatow thing starring Jillian from
yeah.
Why am I playing
Community?
Community, yes.
There you go.
Yeah. And and Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. A show that I finished over the weekend finally.
Bill keeps telling me, other Bill.
Yeah.
Keeps telling me I need to watch that.
It seems like everyone now speaks too slowly after watching 8 episodes of
Gina,
that.
You would just love it.
Yeah. And there's a few more there. They're all on the website at x96.com and where you can stream them over the holidays.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's too much, though, isn't it?
That's a lot. I could have done more. I could have done like a top 50, maybe.
After this finale of The Walking Dead, I'm going to drop that show.
Oh, just finish it.
Make some room in your life.
I'm dropping it so I can watch other stuff. I'm done with that show.
I recommend that.
I'm staying. I like Walking Dead, and I thought this season was good.
It was. Action-packed, that's for sure.
Let's see. Do you have traffic, Gina?
I do. Crash westbound Daybreak Parkway at the Mountain View Corridor Highway in South Jordan. Crash southbound I-15 at 114th South exit on the right shoulder. Crash northbound I-15 110 South at milepost 293. That is also off to the right shoulder. Crash southbound I-15 milepost 280 in Lehigh. Looks like that is about it. That's traffic brought to you by Sean Hogan and Everest Collision. They want you and your loved ones to get home safe and sound. Stop texting and driving. Download the Everest Collision app responsibly.
All right. Let's see. We got boners round 2 coming up. Here are your candidates. Number 1. You were right. Boo! Boner candidate number 2. Okay, I'm pretty liberal, but some things just go too far. And boner candidate number 3, that ain't green, it's black.
All right. Round 2, your boner voting, along with big boy news and opinioendo coming up. Stand by. First, we got to say about Hoops Vision. HOOPES Vision.com.
Yes, our good friend Dr. Philip Hoops Sr. and Jr. And they are... Now, Junior does a lot of cataract surgeries. That's
yes, he did mine, yes.
He's kind of special. That's his specialty. And Dr. Hoop Sr., one of the pioneers, really, in laser eye surgery. And he still does it, and he does a great job. Now, right now at Hoops Vision, you should schedule your free LASIK consultation. Just call 877-30-LASIK, and it's a no-obligation appointment they're going to make there. They'll check your eyes to see if you're a good candidate, and you probably are.
You know what? If you want, you can go down and watch procedures being done.
Yeah, they have a big glass operating theater.
Yeah.
Use your Flex and Health Savings accounts to take your savings to a whole new level, and ask about Care Credit, a convenient way to finance any portion not covered by your Flex Plan or Health Savings dollars. And there's zero interest financing available. Go to hoopsvision.com for more.
This holiday season, X96 and Mark Miller Subaru want to share the love with those who need it.
I made a big mistake. Well, I didn't. It had to be done at some point. I haven't gotten on the scale, weighed myself, that is. Since so I had some back surgery to relieve some pressure on on the nerves in my back, and that has made it difficult for me it's made it impossible for me to do any exercise, and I exercise a lot usually. And then I went on vacation.
Well, sure.
And you don't ever weigh yourself after vacation.
And you always put on a little weight on vacation. So, a lack of exercise for a month, and then going on vacation for however many days to Hawaii, which involved a lot of
pineapple drinking.
a lot of
empty calories.
Empty calories. Thank you. That. Would you please? Damn it, Gina. Could you start with the euphemisms? Would you not zero right in on the problem? Start with the euphemisms. I mean, I say, oh, is Aunt Flo here? You know, I don't say, what, John the Rag? You having a period?
You trying to be funny?
Start with the euphemisms, please.
Before the reality?
Yeah, don't let the reality just don't smack me in the face with it, please. So 10 pounds since the last time I weighed myself.
So in a month you've gained 10.
I think I'd have to look and see when that surgery was.
You don't look like you've gained 10 pounds.
Oh, I sure feel like it. And I don't? Really? No?
You look fine.
I think you always say that though. Because I don't know, why does she always say that? Because I don't think it's true.
I'm sorry, I was chasing down things that we have to take care of here. I'm, trying to fix the show. That's all.
She always says, you look fine. I think it's you say that either because you don't really look at me or at people. Because I look at you, and I wouldn't say that about you.
I didn't ask your opinion on how I look or how much weight I gained on my vacation.
I didn't ask yours either. You just offered it. I didn't ask your opinion.
Okay, I won't say you look fine. I start out saying something nice and I get in trouble for that.
I don't think I look. I think you can tell I've put on 10 pounds. Can't you, Carrie?
Gina, watch and learn. Really?
Can you tell that I put on 10 pounds?
You hide it well.
But you can tell, can't you?
No.
You can't?
No. I also don't look at you very closely.
I believe that.
It's true. I don't look at anybody very closely.
I know. I
keep my head down. I do my job. I get out.
I look at people too closely.
Yeah, would you quit looking at me so closely?
I'm sorry, how's your eye?
It's better.
Is it really? That's what you said. That's what you said when it wasn't.
But now it's just crusty, not puffy.
What did your husband say now that he's seen you? Did he, when he got home and looked at it, did he go, my God, why didn't you go to the doctor?
No, he's still saying it's fine, so it's fine. It's scabby.
I think that if you had FaceTimed him,
yeah,
he would have looked at it and went, "Oh God,
yeah,
Boots, get in there."
He was with me all weekend, and it was fine.
But so again, he doesn't look at you very closely. He just keeps his head down and does his job when he's with you.
Exactly.
Which I'm glad that he doesn't notice I've gained weight.
No,
so
he just keeps his head down and does his job.
Radio from Hell.
That does not count as a Christmas song.
According to who?
It's a Silent Night.
Sounds.
I want Santa Claus as a black man.
Sounded fun.
I
want Lil Augie
settle
Rios.
down.
You'll get those.
I want Christmas Time in Hell. I want Merry Hugging Christmas.
Would you settle down?
We are running out of time.
This is my God. What will we do?
We're only in the studio tomorrow, and then we're at the road home where it gets harder to do those things.
Yeah.
We're running out of time.
You'll be fine.
Pretty hard to tell Carlin to.
Yeah. He knows where everything is.
Don't worry.
All right. Let's see. It is time for round 2 of your boner voting. 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you'll decide with your vote which of these 3 candidates is the worst. Which one deserves to go forward to Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day. Boner Fight is at 9:20. It'll go up against the winner of round 1. This is round 2. 2 candidates now, then a third after the Big Boy News. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote. One of you lucky random Boner voters will receive
a hearty Christmas handshake from Bill Allred.
Happy to do it. Here's Boner candidate number 1. You were right. Boo! Representative Marcy Kaptur, Democrat, Ohio, said in a meeting with other lawmakers that the way some of her female colleagues dress is an invitation to sexual harassment.
Really?
I saw a member yesterday with her cleavage so deep it was down to the floor, Kaptur said.
It was not.
At a Democratic you weren't there? At a Democratic caucus meeting about sexual harassment. Other people at the gathering told Politico, and what I've seen, it really is an invitation to sex. That's what it is.
Invitation.
Now, maybe I'll get booed for saying this, but many companies in the military have a dress code. I have been appalled at some of the dress of members and staff. Men have to wear ties and suits here, but the women, cleavage down to the floor. Maybe I'll get booed for saying this. You're right. Boo! Boner candidate number 1. Boner candidate number 2. Okay, I'm pretty liberal. Bill Allred, pretty liberal. But some things just go too far. Jennifer Mulford has taken time off from her job as a bartender to induce breastfeeding because she wants to start an adult breastfeeding relationship with Brad Leeson.
What?
Because she has not given birth to a baby recently, she and Brad, who is 36,
who's gross,
have to dry feed every
all right.
2 hours to fool her body into think that she's breastfeeding a child, so she starts producing milk. Jennifer was single when she stumbled across this website about ABR, adult breastfeeding relationships. She said, when I read about the bond breastfeeding could create between two people, I was envious.
No.
I've always loved my breasts. I won't go on. I won't go on with that sentence. She's very breast-centric. Jennifer, who's from Atlanta, started searching for men who would be open to the idea of adult breastfeeding. When I read about the pure joy it brought others, I was desperate to seek out a partner to share an emotional bond with. I used dating sites, put messages on ABR forums, and even put an advertisement on Craigslist. But I drew a blank. And then I started to think...
drew a blank.
Even on Craigslist?
Yeah.
Wow.
I started to think I'd never get to try adult breastfeeding. But thank God...
No.
Brad came along.
Brad. Thank God for Brad.
Brad came along.
We were talking, and Brad told me he had a thing for big-breasted women.
Oh, all right.
And I thought this is the perfect time to bring up adult breastfeeding to see if he'd be interested. And lo and behold...
Okay.
Jeez. She's taken time off work.
No.
To start getting the dry to get wet. Boner candidate number 2. Okay, I'm a pretty liberal person, but some things go just too far. Right?
And they're talking about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's very happy. Coming up in a moment, Boner candidate number 3. Hey, that ain't green. It's black.
All right. Boner candidate number 3 for round 2. Coming up after this, Big Boy News and Opinioendo. Brought to you by.
This holiday season, dine, drink, and shop local. Visit Central 9th District, featuring Mediterranean small plates and wine bar, Laziz Kitchen Middle Eastern food, Blue Copper Coffee, Troubadour Salon, Waterwitch Cocktails, and Jade Market Grocers, just a few steps from the 9th South Track Station.
All right, I did this story earlier from the Salt Lake Tribune. The headline, it doesn't matter what you say. In Utah, the agency that investigates job discrimination is so mistrusted that lawyers who deal with that kind of thing often go to the federal level instead to have feds investigate.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about the fact that this agency, the Utah Anti-Discrimination and Labor Division, they call it UALD, UALD. They've only gotten 0.7% found in 0.7% of the cases that employees were discriminated against or harassed in the workplace. And it seems pretty low. Well, the case manager, one of the case managers at that agency, did respond and said, lawyers who refuse to send cases are making unfair characterizations about the agencies. If any party gets a benefit of the doubt, he said, it's the employees early in the process. Investigators always hear them out before going to seek evidence and a rebuttal from the employer. He said that the agency awarded $1 million to people in the most recent fiscal year who said they were discriminated against. So that's a number of, I don't know how many employees that was divided among. But so he's defending the agency and saying that they do a good job. And we heard from, in the chat room, another investigator who does that same kind of work, not for this agency, who said he's very scrupulous about it. And I believe he is, or she is. I didn't catch it was a man or a woman, said we investigate but you don't work for this agency. So there are being aspersions cast against this agency by the Salt Lake Tribune. Well, I would say by lawyers who work in discrimination cases.
Salt Lake Tribune's reporting it.
Yeah. Just wanted to sort of present that other side and make that clear. Gene Simmons is being sued for sexual battery.
Surprise it's taken this long.
Yeah. He's being sued on charges of sexual battery in the wake of an incident that allegedly took place just last month. The unnamed plaintiff says she met Simmons during an interview promoting his restaurant chain. What is that called?
I want to say Rock and Brews.
I think that he and Paul Stanley opened that one. Yeah. It could be another one, though.
Things began going wrong when in the interview when the musician forcibly placed the woman's hand on his knee and held it there. Later, bizarrely, he also forcibly licked and struck the woman in the middle of her throat and engaged in unwanted sexual innuendo and groped her during a photo op.
Yeah, it's Rock and Brews.
Rock and Brews. So, yeah. And I could have made this a boner candidate, but I didn't. Track Palin.
Oh, yes.
The oldest son of former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin was arrested Saturday in Alaska on charges of domestic violence. This is the second time he's been arrested on suspicion of domestic violence in 2 years. The charges stem from an incident in his family's hometown of Wasilla, though further details about what happened were not immediately available. Mr. Palin was arraigned Sunday morning on 3 counts of felony burglary, misdemeanor reckless assault, and misdemeanor criminal mischief for causing up to $500 in property damages. Local police and prosecutors didn't respond to messages saying, well, what did he do exactly? We have a mysterious visitor from outer space.
Again?
This is, this week, Breakthrough Listen, a $100 million program funded by Russian tech billionaire Yuri Milner and backed by some of the world's top astrophysicists, started investigating this gigantic cigar-shaped space object for signs of alien technology. So what we know about this thing, it was discovered by astronomers on Maui, and our good friend of the program, J.D. Armstrong, is among those astronomers, although I corresponded with him, and he said he wasn't on that project, but he certainly knows the people who did it. So this object that they've discovered is different from anything they've seen. They know it is the first thing that they have ever observed from another solar system. And it is it's not a comet because there's no trail behind it. Comets have ice. They're made of ice mostly, with a little rock in the center, I think. And they make a condensation trail.
This is a weird shape for something.
It's not doing it. And it's long and cylindrical. I think it's God's cigar is what I think. God dropped a cigar and it's now floating through space. But they're pretty sure it's rock. But some astrophysicists decided, well, because we know it's from another solar system, let's listen and see if it's sending any kind of signal.
Carrie's been playing it. Isn't that
It's right here.
It's pretty fascinating. And, even if there's no alien associated with it, it's still extremely fascinating to study it because it's not from our solar system. And I heard a scientist, an astrophysicist, being interviewed about it, and the guy said, "Well, do you think we will ever have contact with life from another planet?" And he said, "I am sure of it, absolutely sure of it." He said, "It's the theory of modesty. We are not unique.
No,
there must be others like us or other life forms out there." He said, "Even in our solar system, there are many, many planets that have a proximity to a star like our sun that is similar to Earth's, and undoubtedly one of them has to support
and they're
some kind of
ruining
life.
their planet too.
Maybe.
And they are looking for another planet to move to, and they're going to come and take over, and we're all in trouble.
And that's what this object is.
They're coming to get us.
Going to terraform first.
Yep.
No, it's coming to talk to the whales.
Pretty cool, huh? I'm just fascinated by it, and they gave it a Hawaiian name, the first people who discovered it, because they are there on Maui. And let's see if I'm pronouncing this.
Mahalo?
No.
Poi?
No. Good guesses though, Gina. Really good guesses.
Mele Kalikimaka.
No. I'm trying to find it here because
I don't know many Hawaiian.
Here. They call it Oumuamua. And it means something, and I can't find it.
It means
in the
V'ger.
story.
It means V'ger.
Is that what?
Yeah.
I am V'ger. Damn, I can't find what it means. Anyway, I think it's pretty cool.
Voyager 6.
And Jason Priestley. Remember him?
Where did that come from?
Well, he's managed to claw his way into the news by claiming that he once punched Harvey Weinstein in the face.
No, Jason Priestley, come on. I doubt that happened.
Speaking after Mira Savino responded to a report from Peter Jackson, which noted Harvey Weinstein had actively and pretty much successfully derailed her career.
Yeah, where have you seen her?
Jason
lately?
Priestley shared his own story of an interaction he had with Weinstein. According to Priestley, Weinstein asked him to clear out at the Miramax Golden Globes after party back in 1995. Priestley said he was getting ready to leave when Weinstein confronted him. "I didn't say you had to leave," Weinstein replied. "Well, you just told me to leave, right over there," I tell him once again, getting heated now. He then grabs me and says, "Why don't we go outside and talk about this?" That was all I needed to hear. "I'm not going anywhere with you," I said, as I pushed him back and punched him with a right hand to his face. Suddenly there were security guards pulling us apart, and I was escorted out of the party, and out of a Hollywood, and out of a career.
He's saying that is what.
Well,
now all these old stars are coming forward saying that's why I haven't worked into it's Harvey Weinstein. He's the reason I haven't worked.
Well, Jason Priestley has been a director for the last several decades.
Yeah, he's not claiming that it has ruined his career. He's still active in Hollywood. He is currently a voice character on a TV project called Wishin' Proof, and has several directorial projects coming up. So he works constantly, I guess. So that's the news.
Weather, traffic?
It's warmer. Oh, do you want a sport?
It's up to you.
The Jazz are playing tonight. They're on the road at Houston, and Houston is very good, which means not very good for the Jazz. But watch them and support them at 6 o'clock tonight.
Okay.
Traffic. Oh, and weather. It's warmer and the air is better. 40 for a high today. Traffic. We've got a crash southbound I-15 at 102nd South. The left lane is closed there. Crash westbound Daybreak Parkway at Mountain View Corridor Highway in South Jordan. Crash southbound I-15 at the 114th South exit. Crash northbound I-15 at the 110th exit off to the right shoulder. That's traffic.
All right, here's Boner candidate number 3. That ain't green, it's black. Papatia Reginald Wright. Guardians of the Green Beret. For real Green Berets, there's one dead giveaway, though, that this man might have been an imposter. Brooklyn Army vet Papatia Reggie Wright was, in fact, an imposter. He was not a Green Beret because his beret was black.
He's a black beret.
We
Is
took
that
one.
a thing?
No,
It's a
well,
special
not in-
secret
not-
beret. No?
We took one look at him, and we knew he was messed up. It was comical, said a retired Green Beret, a member of the Guardians of the Green Beret. If you're going to pretend to be a Green Beret, you ought to do it the right way by wearing a Green Beret, the veteran said. Mr. Wright was outed this week as a fraud, posing as a Green Beret as he ran an unauthorized Veterans Honor Guard out of Brooklyn's Park Slope Armory, according to the Guardians of the Green Beret. Wright's wife, Tammy Feliciano, also lied about being an ex-Army major while serving as an executive officer with him. His wife never served a day in the military, period, a Guardian member said. The organization of former and current Special Forces heroes uncovered Mr. Wright's alleged scheme thanks in part to his laughable lack of military intelligence. Mr. Wright was apparently trying to sort of make money off of this scam, pretending to be a Green Beret, but that ain't green, it's black. Boner candidate number 3.
All right, let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, you were right. Boo! A congresswoman says the way some women dress is an invitation to harassment, and then she said, I'll probably get booed for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will. Boner candidate number 2, okay, I'm pretty liberal, but some things have just gone too far. This is a woman who says she has quit her job to breastfeed her boyfriend every 2 hours in what's called an adult breastfeeding relationship. There they are at x96.com/live. What a charming couple. And Boner candidate number 3, that ain't green, it's black.
All right. Let's vote. It's time for round 2. You've got to decide which one of these 3 candidates is the worst. Which one deserves to go to Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day? It's got a 50-50 chance going up against the winner of round 1. Boner Fight is at 9:20. So 1, 2, or 3, put the candidate that you think should win in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. You can call 877-602-9696. Vote that way with your voice. Or go to x96.com and look for the box that says Round 1, December 18. If you don't see that box, refresh. It should appear. Let's go. Less than 300 seconds. Round 2.
X96 is Utah's...
There, you've reached the offices of Carrie and me, Bill, the radio from hell guys. And if you have anything to say to us, we're not picking up, so wait for the beep.
All right, punch in the code.
We should change that message.
Yeah, tell it what we want to do. It'll rewind
Better man.
and play back
I
our
wonder if anybody's
messages.
called me.
All right, let's see.
Add it. Oh, there's one.
Hello, Bill. It's me, your mother.
My mom.
Now,
Hi, Mom.
you know that I don't mind you staying here at the house with me and your father,
Thanks,
but
Mom.
you've got to stop hiding the cat.
What?
Bill, if you're there, you'd better pick up. Bill?
Are you hiding?
Where did you put that damn cat? You little bastard, where did you hide my cat?
Would you give her back her cat?
Carrie, this is Bill. And because you
Oh,
refuse to talk with any of your family or friends about this,
don't
they've
listen to
asked
this one.
me to be their spokesman.
Well, I
and
can't-
because you won't talk to me about it face to face, I'll do it here on the answering
What?
machine.
I forgot
Carrie,
this.
please, don't have the surgery.
Oh, come on.
Think about it. We're not talking about something that's temporary. This is major surgery.
Don't do
Once you
it.
have this done, you can't go back to the way you were.
This is
It's
nobody's
forever.
nobody's business
Please,
but mine.
If you
all
won't
right?
listen to us, please talk to your therapist about it.
I already
don't
have.
have the surgery.
Would you just
Bye.
look? This is
I'm
none of
sorry
you guys.
that was on the air, but
None of you guys' business.
Hello?
hey, it's my dad.
Bill? It's me,
That's Warren.
Warren.
Yes.
I'm your father.
Father. Yeah.
Now, I know I don't talk very much, but I'd like to say that I'm really grateful
that you've done something with your mother's
Cat.
I really don't care for that cat.
He doesn't like the
It's
cat.
always trying to sleep on my face and suck my breath out.
That's true, actually.
I wonder what he's eating there. Jeez.
Hello, this is Dr. Stevenson's office calling for Carrie Jackson.
Oh.
Mr. Jackson, I called to tell you that OR has been scheduled for your surgery.
Oh, good.
The operation will be January 23rd. That's a Monday.
Hey, come on,
Report to
Carrie.
hospital check-in at 12 noon.
12 noon.
Surgery is scheduled for 2:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Your
What a
estimated
dope.
hospital recovery time will be about a week,
You're a
depending on
dope.
how fast you
Hey,
heal.
shut up,
If you
all
have any
right?
questions, please call us
You're
here
a
at the
dope
doctor's
to do
office.
it. This is
Thank you.
nobody's business but mine.
Dope
all
to
right?
do it.
Hello, Mr. Allred. This is Bob Appleby, head of product research and development for the Loveco Cosmetics Company.
Are you selling
We'd
co-
like to thank you for the donation of the fine cat. Thanks to you and your generosity, we'll be able to test a new line of mascara that will at last be safe and non-toxic on human eyes.
you gave the cat-
As a token of our appreciation, we're sending you a year's
What?
supply of Loveco lipsticks in assorted colors and flavors.
You gave
Thanks again for your support.
your mother's cat.
A year's supply of lipstick. Cool. That's great.
Harry, hi, this is Miss Miller, your psychiatrist.
Oh.
You missed your appointment yesterday, so
I
I
know.
wanted to call you and tell you I think you're making a big mistake.
Told you.
Do
Look.
not go through with the surgery.
Look. Told
Look,
ya.
I know your hero is Captain Kirk. I know how much you admire Captain Kirk. But for the love of God, having plastic surgery to make you look like Captain Kirk is psychotic.
Told ya.
Don't have the surgery.
Told ya.
You call me at the office as soon as you get this. Thanks.
You people say
She's a paid professional.
that's all the messages.
I don't think we should do this again.
I think you're right.
For very
Gina Barberi, Radio from Hell on X96.
All right.
Time to award round 2 of your boner voting.
And round 2 of the boner voting is brought to you
totally
by a glass of water.
A glass of water?
Well, See, I had made this delicious lasagna, and I wanted to make a side salad just to, go, but the greens had gone over, so I didn't have anything else to, and I didn't want to have any wine for some reason, so I just had a glass of water.
Are you all right? You didn't want any wine for some reason?
Gina, I'm dehydrated. I am dehydrated. I didn't want to have to admit it here on the radio, but you've dragged it out of me. Yes, I'm dehydrated.
My name is Bill, and I'm dehydrated.
Right. The boner candidates were boner candidate number 1. You were right. Boo! Female representative from Ohio who made comments about saying way some women dress is an invitation to harassment, and you might boo me for that. Well, yes, we do. Boner candidate number 2. Okay, I'm me, Bill, Carrie, Gina, pretty liberal. But some things go a little too far. It's a woman who quit her job to engage in an adult breastfeeding relationship with her boyfriend. They have to do it every 2 hours to try and,
No.
And I know. I'm with you on that.
I think it's irresponsible from her job standpoint.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know.
And boner candidate number 3, that ain't green, it's black. A dead giveaway that exposed a Green Beret as a fraud. He wasn't wearing a Green Beret. He looked really good, except he didn't have on a Green Beret. He had on a black
So
one.
close.
Yeah. Let's see. The winner was boner candidate number 2. Okay, I'm pretty liberal, but some things go too far.
All right, there you go. That is the winner of round 2 boner voting. It goes up against the winner of round 1 boner fight. That happens at 9:20. That's when boner of the day is decided by you.
Geek News on the Radio, brought to you by Cabin Fever, satisfying all of your holiday needs since 1982. Books, tin signs, lunch boxes, gift wrap, ribbons, and so much more in the heart of Trolley Square. 5th South, 7th East, Cabin Fever, so much more than a card store.
All right. There is a brand new episode of GeekShowPodcast.com available right now. We give our 98% spoiler-free review of The Last Jedi.
Uh-oh, somebody slip up a little?
A little couple of slip-ups here. But nothing major.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to seek it out, and you let people know.
Exactly. So look for that. Speaking of The Last Jedi, well...
Killing it.
Rian Johnson, the writer and director, he's having a good weekend. Let's see. It opened a mere 11% behind The Force Awakens. Record-shattering domestic launch. $247.9 million on the same weekend in 2015.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the only person that didn't see it. I'm seeing it this Friday.
I didn't see it. I purposely waited because I thought the theaters would be too full. I would see that 3 billboards outside of...
Oh, you did?
Well, that's what I told everybody. Movie. Don't go see it this weekend. Go and see Coco or something,
That 3 billboards movie is just incredible.
But go see it soon because people are being jerks on Twitter and Facebook. They're just...
Yeah. I've been pretty good about, like I'll be looking at Twitter and I'll see... Star Wars, and I just look away before I finish.
And even geek news sites are in their headlines.
No, not in the headlines.
Kind of spoiling.
No,
Mm-hmm.
So avoid all of it until you go see it. But it's opened $230 million from 54 markets for a worldwide launch of $450 million. Last Jedi came in 18% behind The Force Awakens overseas, where sci-fi can be a tough sell. It doesn't open in China until January 5th, so it's still got money to make. And another reason that Rian Johnson's having a good weekend is I guess it was his birthday this month, and that's where I wanted to ask Richie about this because I don't know how you get this done. This is the Mormon Tabernacle Choir.
For his birthday?
Let me get this, play it for you here. I don't know why it's not playing. Here we go.
Happy birthday, Rian Johnson.
Let's say his name.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
I think first you have to have a recommend first, don't you?
Well, see, that's what I need to ask Richie because the guy who did this for him, somebody named Ted Griffin,
right?
And he's got like 300 followers, and
so here's
no bio.
So my thought is,
there
there might be another Rian Johnson that the Mormon Tabernacle is saying too.
That's what I was going to say.
But
Rian Johnson is a common name.
Yeah.
But if that is not the case,
well, except he spells his R-I-A-N.
They didn't sing it and spell it.
But if it's not that, Mormons and specifically the Mormon Church are really good about getting things to go. I hate the term, but viral, being able to do things that will get attention to get spread around. So I don't know that I would put it past them, but my first suspicion is, as Gina said, there is another Rian Johnson that they were singing.
Well,
Happy
make sure
Birthday to.
the spelling. I don't know.
But Bill, they didn't.
Is he a member?
Rian Johnson?
Yeah.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, I mean,
work on it.
But I guess there's another Ryan Johnson who's a member.
I would say it's pretty safe to say that yes,
it's probably
there is
an
more,
RYAN though.
Yeah, or an RYANNNE.
Yeah. Actually, I've got the answer.
Oh, yeah.
Our chat room stepped right up. This is why, after music and the spoken word on Sunday, the choir sang Happy Birthday to Ryan Johnson, the director of Star Wars The Last Jedi, which hits theaters this weekend. Screenwriter Ted Griffin shared the moment from the LDS Conference Center with the Star Wars director via FaceTime. Griffin is married to Sutton Foster, who was the guest soloist for the choir's Christmas time concert and who performed during music and the spoken word.
And so you knew something.
They FaceTimed Ryan, and there you go.
A person who knew a person, and it's a star, and so they said, yeah, okay, sure, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. There you go.
Nice.
All right. Well, we solved that mystery.
Phew.
Thank goodness.
RIAN.
Yes. See this stack of... This is all research I've done. You see this?
Yeah, on what?
On the Disney buying Fox. And
should we hate it even more
and
now?
How... Well, I'm against it. But...
you can't do anything about
everything that it affects.
Yeah.
And what needs to be done. It's a deep dive. I won't do it here. It's on the current episode of GeekShowPodcast.com.
Give us a taste, though.
Okay. Little things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, we get the chance to possibly have the Avengers versus the X-Men. That's a fun idea. It also means Disney will be Hulu's majority owner.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing that falls out from this. There are actually comic book problems. Because the last time this happened was when Disney bought Star Wars. There was currently a Star Wars comic put out by Dark Horse Comics. So immediately that stopped. Well, there are Fox properties that are currently that Disney will own that will have to be pulled off. Disney owns Alien now.
Yeah.
Predator.
Yeah.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay.
Avatar. Alien versus Predator. They also own The Simpsons and Futurama, which also means Bongo Comics.
Right.
So will Bongo Comics go away, and will it fall under the purvey of Marvel? Or will they just absorb it all? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that it involves. And so that's a whole... all that stuff.
They're going to have to cut out that episode of Futurama where they have Walt Disney's head in a jar.
Yeah, that will be forever destroyed.
Yeah, we'll never see that one again.
But the big question that everyone had about this whole thing, well, first of all, how soon? Long time.
Well, it has to be approved for one thing.
Yeah, over a year.
It hasn't been approved yet.
And, it still has to go through. I mean, there's some members of Congress who are having a problem with this. So they're looking into it. It's gonna be at least a year and a half before the contracts are signed.
They're also afraid of the hitmen.
That too.
Yeah, and the hitmen, the hired contract killers.
Oh, I thought that was a movie.
No, they're the hired contract killers who will take care of them if they don't vote for it. And you would think that would be Rupert Murdoch's people. No, it's the Disney people.
But the most important question about the merger was the future of Deadpool.
Well, yeah.
That was the most important question.
That's the one that popped up in my mind.
Because if Disney owns Deadpool...
Will they kill it?
No.
Here's a report from Robert Iger.
Okay.
Who can smell money a mile away.
Yep.
Says, it clearly has been and will be Marvel branded, but I think that there might be an opportunity for a Marvel R brand for something like Deadpool. As long as we let the audience know what's coming, I think we can manage it just fine. So
let them know what's coming by putting an R rating on it.
Yes, that might help.
You'd think that would be enough.
So there you go. Your worries are put to rest. A nation's nightmare is now.
Oh, man, I feel much better.
Don't you all feel better now? You can have your R-rated Deadpool movies.
Phew. Thank goodness.
There you go.
Crash at the ramp I-15 to SR-92 exit in Utah County. It's off to the right shoulder. Crash southbound I-15 102nd South. Left lane is closed there. Crash westbound Daybreak Parkway and Mountain View Corridor. And looks like that is about it. That's traffic.
That's traffic?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
How about diamonds?
That is not it, because you haven't done your Christmas shopping yet, Bill. I know this for a fact.
I have not, and I'll probably do it after we're at the road home. But Diamonds Direct, it is crunch time. So if you're wondering what's going to make an unforgettable Christmas, particularly for the woman in your life, but women, there are nice, very nice pieces of men's jewelry there too. But Diamonds Direct has what women love, and Diamonds Direct has the best value in America, no middleman, a direct importer price.
Wait, you know what they have?
What?
A diamond and sapphire tennis bracelet. So it's not just diamonds; they have the gemstones too. I love a diamond and sapphire tennis bracelet. Just if you know anybody that's shopping for me, Bill, when you're doing your Christmas shopping, you haven't done yet. Give me one of those.
Okay, I will. They also have the biggest selection in all of Utah, guaranteed. And don't forget this year you can get any gift and spread your payments out over 3 years with zero interest at Diamonds Direct. Just take the price, divide it by 36, and that's what your really low payment will be. So where is Diamonds Direct? It's very easy to find. It's on 6400 South, right across from the Fashion Place Mall.
Hi there, it's Kerry Jackson. Geek Show is me and all my best friends sitting in my basement studio, drinking, laughing, and talking about the stuff we love. Sci-fi, movies, TV shows, comic books, toys, games, and more. Get a new Not Safe for Work episode every Monday morning.
GeekShowPodcast.com.
I will read it to you.
It looks to be typewritten.
Yes.
Wow.
Typewritten, actual letter dated the 9th of October.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. You're a lucky girl.
Don't you wish you got more letters?
Oh, you bet.
Actual letters?
I sure do. The only thing that could make that
Email
better...
doesn't sound like this.
The only thing that could make that better is if that had been handwritten.
That's true.
Oh, that would have been really special.
Gina, I would ask you to think about a time before cell phones, blogs, Facebooks, and Twittering.
Back a time when people actually wrote letters.
A simpler time. Yeah. We raised our kids in the physical world.
Yeah.
We threw our money away on frivolously silly things. We pursued tangible hobbies, or at least had fun playing. We traveled where we wanted to, when we wanted to. The world was ours for the taking. We had meaningful conversations with people who were important to us, either face-to-face or on the telephone.
Is this from your first boyfriend?
No. Those people, if they judged us at all, were polite enough to do so in a way that led to improvement.
Okay.
What has changed? Nothing, of course, but the perception is now that we have to record or display every aspect of our lives and activities and do it as quickly as possible.
Twitter.
Does it really matter if you learn that someone took our kids to the park last Tuesday? No. Are a million meaningless opinions any better than a few well-considered ones? No. Must you change your life to fit into the false standard propagated by people you don't even know?
No.
Of course not. The most dangerous trap to fall into is trying to be someone you're not, for whatever reason. For the love of all things irrational, Gina, just be yourself. It's what makes life worth living.
Stop twittering.
Sincerely, Martin Noonzert. P.S. Your bio on the X96 website is not up to date.
As I like to say, any clod can have the facts, but having an opinion is an art.
I guess I need to update my bio.
You know, you should scan that letter and put it on our website.
Yeah.
I should blog and Twitter about this letter.
Tweet.
A blog and Twitter.
Tweet. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. If you use Twitter, you tweet.
You tweet.
Why can't I Twitter it?
That's something that you should do in the privacy of your own bedroom.
Okay.
It's true.
When your husband's out of town.
Some more letters. I want more actual letters sent through the mail.
Well, give your address.
515 South, 7th East, Suite 1C, Salt Lake City, Utah, 84102.
If they're handwritten, it's even better. Or even better, if they're words cut out of magazines and pasted onto it. That's great.
Let me just say this to people writing letters to Gina. You may write them. You won't get them. She will.
No.
You're not going to take the time to return them.
No.
Yeah, email's a lot easier to
answer.
And
yeah. But go ahead, send her letters. Try not to use words like nonplussed.
I know nonplussed.
Now you.
Don't rejoice for Jesus. Merry Christmas to you. On Christmas Day, I travel around the world and say, now is Christmas bonus and all you atheists too. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you, Mr. Head.
Happy?
Thank you. Yes, I am.
So you're happy after hearing that awful pagan.
It's a Christmas song.
It's not, Gina.
It's Christmas all the way through that. It's a Christmas song. No?
I wouldn't say so, no. I wouldn't.
I have my little list in my head of the Radio from Hell Christmas songs that I want to hear, or it's not Christmas, and that's one of them. So thank you.
Okay. So you,
huh?
Gina was going to tell us. Gina was going to tell us a story here, I think. But I just one quick thing. I was at Smith's yesterday, and I had bought a lot of groceries. It was I was down at the Stabbin' Smiths, and I bought a lot of groceries. Had big bags, and they always say, "Would you like your meat in another bag?" And I usually I don't unless I know it's going to be a leaky kind of thing, because most of them are sealed.
Leaky meat.
Yeah, so most of them are sealed up pretty well. But I had a couple of leaky things, and I said, "Why? Yeah, go ahead and put those in plastic." She said, "Well, I'm just going to I'll put all the meat in this one bag then." And okay, whatever. So she did that, and then she finished checking me out. And she said, "Oh, here's your meat bag." and I wasn't going to say anything at all because it would have been sort of inappropriate. But as she looked at me, she went, I heard her go, and I said, "That was pretty funny." And she said, the minute I said it, I knew. I just went, "Oh my God, what did I?" And she was just kind of flustered. And I said, "No, it was very funny. I'll take the meat bag, thank you." And off I went.
What kind of meat did you get?
You really want?
Sure.
I got an 8-pound pork butt.
That's what I hear.
I got. Well, when I walk around the halls, Carrie, I hear people. "Hey, pork butt!" I hear them. I got 2 pounds of sweet Italian sausage, bulk sausage, and I got some chicken breasts.
So
it was all in my meat bag.
I bought meat over the weekend too, since we're talking meat. And I got to the Honey Baked Ham store right when it opened.
Oh. Good for you.
No, so I pull up and I'm going to park right in the front, and some guys come out and go, no, you can't park here. We're putting up the tent. Like, this is the time of year where
it's the ham tent.
The regular ham store is not big enough. They need an additional tented area.
Wow.
So this is for people who are somehow unable, probably disabled people who are unable to bake their own hams.
You can't make a honey baked ham.
Yes, you can.
No, it's not the same thing.
Okay.
And then I went inside.
It's probably not as good then.
I went inside the store and they had the, what do you call it? The roped off.
The queue line?
Yeah. But there's nobody in line.
That's what this is.
But
why that happens? Years of eating honey baked ham.
I guess.
So I went in the store, and have you ever gone through the line when there's nobody there and you feel silly that why can't I just walk up to the counter? Why do I have to walk through this empty? No,
it doesn't make me feel silly at all. I just walk up.
It doesn't make me feel silly. It makes me feel angry.
Well, no, I wasn't angry because I was feeling pretty smug about the whole thing. Like, they're setting up the tent. They got the line. I just walked right in here.
Yeah, and?
No, wait.
And?
Give me a ham. I was in and out of there in 3 minutes.
Oh, so I thought there was going to be a, but.
No. I was just feeling smug, like,
What are you, the god of ham?
2 hours from now, this is going to be an hour errand for somebody getting a ham. I walked right in here.
So those of you who had to wait in line, what Gina is saying,
got my in and out with the ham.
Well, what they say, is the early radio host gets the ham.
Gets the meat bag.
And the meat bag. She was so funny.
I just wish that my grocery store would wrap the meat tighter. Because it never fails.
Does it leaks?
It never fails.
Really?
I always get a leaky.
Yeah.
Always get a leaky.
I almost never have a problem with it, but tell them then.
They're a great meat department otherwise, but I'll be going through the.
Oh, you mean the paper wrapping?
No, the plastic wrap when you're going through the meat, the cold meat area. It's like here's the chicken thighs, and inevitably because you'll pick one up because you want to make sure you get. I need 4, so
you get goo on your hands.
It never fails.
Yeah, that I hate that.
Yeah.
I just lick it off, It's
gross.
and they have the the wipes there.
Yeah.
But then there's no place to throw them away once you've wiped.
There's a floor.
Yeah, that's
throw it on the floor.
Well, what are you supposed to do? They don't provide you any place to throw it away. There's a floor. That's what I say.
Any more ham meat stories?
No. I thought you were going to tell us about Uber.
But I could. Do I have time for this quickly?
We can do that later.
Okay.
We'll do it later. Coming up in just a few moments, Boner fight. We'll find out who Boner of the Day is. Stand by for that. Before that, a little bit of news.
Okay.
But first, ranlife.com is the website.
Yeah, Ran Life, they're doing something special for the holiday.
I'm a bad mom, I can tell you about real quick.
Really?
Well, we know you're a bad mom, but go ahead, tell us.
Quickly, we're at Gray Whale. You can come by and see us, Gray Whale, up by the U.
Come and get a first-hand look at a really bad mother.
Yeah, I'm right here. So last night was country fair at Festus's school. Now, country fair is not like chickens and cows and
like you would.
pies.
Yeah, that's why they call it a country fair, because it has nothing to do with that.
No, it's a country fair.
Oh, it's okay. So it's not a country fair; it's a country fair.
It's a country fair.
Australia.
Yeah. Yeah.
What country did Festus have?
He had Iraq.
Oh,
of course
good.
he did. Yeah.
And so yesterday.
Is that because they knew his father's a terrorist?
No, he has a brother who's serving in Iraq.
Oh, that's okay.
He's been there forever. I wish he'd come back. But yesterday, after school, Festus said, "Well, everybody said they're bringing food." As you know, you have the display board with all your information, and everybody's bringing food from their various countries.
It would have been nice, honey, if you'd let me know that before, 12 hours before school.
So I look around the house, and I see that
Did you have some hummus or anything?
well, the mother-in-law had just come back from Egypt, and she brought this big container of baked goods from this Egyptian bakery, and the container had Arabic all over it, and they were Egyptian pastries. I'm like, that's close.
Wait a minute. If you were to say that to your husband, your Egyptian husband,
he's out of town, I'm guessing.
So that's close, and there's Arabic on it. So you set that on the table, and it'll look
it'll fool 'em.
authentic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to the country fair and
The country fair.
the country fair, and come back, and Joe stayed with the little kids at home while I took Festus to the country fair, and Joe said, "What happened to
The pastries
The
that I was so looking
pastries.
forward to eating.
And I said, well, he didn't have any food for his display, and so we took those. And I thought because it had Arabic on it that it would look. And he said, the Arabic that they speak in Egypt is not the same as in Iraq. It's like
Really?
that would be like if you took,
Yeah.
pastries from
Let's take some
Spain
French pastries to a
and-
Mexico
yeah.
country. Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, they didn't know. Nobody knew. It's Arabic. They don't know what.
Did they not know?
Nobody said anything.
Nobody
of course
said
they
it.
didn't
No.
know. Yeah.
Was he angry at you? Did he get angry?
A little bit. It's like
Dr.
my
Sam
mother-
wants to talk about anger today.
It's like my mother brought these all the way back from Egypt for
me.
For me.
Did people eat them at the
They
fair?
did. They were gone.
Were they delicious?
They were really good. 'Cause
You
they-
don't know. You didn't try them.
No, I did.
Okay.
Before anybody else touched them, because then they've got germs on them. So I unwrapped them and tried
Oh,
one.
you have problems with germs?
Yeah.
Oh,
like my friend Lindsay. That would be good for you next time we're on. We'll talk about germs.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know. Do you wear slippers at home? Or
Yes.
will your feet touch the carpet?
No.
She won't walk She won't walk barefoot in a hotel room.
Really?
No.
No. How? And if you're out and about and you need to go to the toilet,
I try to wait.
Difficult.
Until you get home.
Mm-hmm.
Difficult.
Unbelievable.
And she's one of these people who opens the door to the bathroom with her elbow.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Flush with
The
your
whole
foot.
thing.
I'm no fool.
Do you use a straw when you're
Sure.
drinking at a restaurant?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, she's bad.
James.
We're going to have a show on obsessive
no.
Let's do
compulsive
it.
That's
disorder,
not
I think.
obsessive compulsive. It's
Ah,
being
he's-
cautious.
It's
That's
Dr.
different.
Sam. You
Cautious?
You can argue with Dr. Sam?
Cautious.
I don't think you're going to argue with Dr. Sam.
She gets it.
Jackson, Bill Allred, Gina Barberi. What you got there is Radio from Hell on X96.
Right. That Bart is a caution, isn't he?
Yes.
Hey, Hambutt.
Let's see.
I hear them.
We got boner fights coming up. Stand by for that. First, a little bit of news.
A little bit of news brought to you by Dr. Volt's Comic Connection. They have everything you're looking for this holiday season, whether it's comic, anime, cards, games, or even action figures. Dr. Volt's located at 2043 East, 33rd South in Salt Lake.
And more than a little bit of news, really.
More than, okay.
Because we're on time.
How'd that?
I know.
So I'm going to do you all a favor here. I'm going to tweet out right now at RFHBill.
What are you tweeting?
Chrissy Teigen's French toast casserole with salted frosted flakes.
Ooh.
That John Legend is a lucky man.
And you really should say Utah's own.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
she
right.
she grew up in Delta. Yeah, Delta.
Yeah,
little town of Delta. Not sure she was born here, but she lived here for quite a while.
We'll claim her.
You know, I didn't realize this, and I forget who I was talking to. Roseanne Barr's mother still lives here in Salt Lake.
Oh, Mama Barr?
Mama Barr, yeah. I said I see her all the time. She comes into, geez, who was I talking to about a shop? Anyway, Chrissy Teigen's French toast. It's got a pound of French bread in it, cut into cubes, butter, cream, eggs, whole milk along with cream, and a
whole milk and cream.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And a cup of rum, brown sugar, cinnamon, vanilla, nutmeg, so forth. That's what the French toast. And then on top you put 3 cups of frosted flakes cereal, and 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter with kosher salt.
Is there a calorie count on that at all?
Let me see.
Lord.
No, there's just 2 little skulls instead of a calorie count. It's just
there's something. There's a little throbbing meme there. Oh, it's a liver.
A throbbing.
It's a little throbbing meme. It's a liver. I'm gonna make it.
That sounds pretty good.
And I tweeted out, but it's got eggs in it, Gina.
Yeah.
Well, but they're like.
Yeah, what's the egg ruling, Gina?
It's a custard. It's kind of a custard.
Yeah.
You don't like custard.
I mean,
you don't want a custard. You'll kind of eat something that comes out of a chicken's butt if it's hidden somehow.
I don't like just egg. Like
because
an egg
because it comes out of a chicken's butt.
Yeah,
but
if it's mixed in things,
Chrissy Teigen would tell you, yeah, they came out of a chicken's butt and I just mixed them in there.
I don't understand because
I don't either.
Yeah,
it's dumb. All those kind of food things are, for most people, are just arbitrary weirdness.
Yep.
Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, says he says he's really considering running for president.
Don't do that.
Why? After this failed experiment, I'll take anything.
But Carrie, that's the way people felt when they elected Trump. We'll take anything. Just as long as it's not that black guy in the office.
Or a woman. We can't have a woman.
Or a woman. Jeez.
Anything will be better than.
I got in trouble on national radio for saying that Hillary Clinton probably wouldn't do very well in Utah because she's a woman and it's a patriarchal. And they hated that. Remember when I got in trouble?
Yeah. You were right.
But he says he was on Ellen this week when asked by Ellen if he'd actually really run for president. He turned and point blank and just was very deadpan and said, I'm seriously considering it, yeah. Judging by the host and audience reaction, he'll win.
Oh, he will.
Well, people love The Rock.
But he's not going to run until he's not busy anymore.
Yeah, he's making lots of movies.
When will that happen? I don't see it in the future.
He seems to be pretty bright. When I've seen him in interviews, he comes across as a very well-spoken, really bright guy. But, there's a lot more to. Well, no, there isn't. Donald Trump won. What did I say? What am I saying? I was going to say there's a lot more to doing it, but man, he'd probably win. The Great Salt Lake is disappearing. Just it's shrinking and shrinking. Norm Bangerter, our former governor, when there was flooding, he put those pumps out there.
Yeah.
And they've never once been used to pump water, as far as I know.
We've said before, we should repurpose them as air cleaner outers.
We should turn them into big fans that blow the pollution away. Or just put some big fans out there. And that would be Herbert's fans, and then they'd never be turned on. The Great Salt Lake is shrinking quite a bit, and that's probably not a good thing. It's been on a 160-year decline, and there are ups and downs still, but they're now talk about how can we make sure that it doesn't go away altogether. Residents of Mendon, Utah.
Where's that?
I've never heard of Mendon.
Let's see. I think it's in Sanpete County.
How do you spell it? Let me look.
Mendon. They got a turkey problem.
A turkey problem.
Too many?
Wild turkeys. Too many.
We get them guns with the big,
What?
A blunderbuss? Is that what you're talking
that's
about?
Not
a shotgun?
It's got the big turkey.
What? Shut up.
What?
The Utah Division of Wildlife Resources reintroduced wild turkeys into the Mendon area about 15 years ago. They went out there with a crate of turkeys and they said, turkeys, Mendon. Mendon, turkeys. Reintroduced them.
It's North Logan.
North of Logan.
Yeah.
At first, the mayor enjoyed watching the 5 or 10 turkeys that settled near his home, but then the mayor of Mendon said, those 5 to 10 turned into 100, then 200, then 300. There's about 500 turkeys at my house. Ed Bruce is the mayor. They're upset, and the turkeys are not that wild either, they say. They seem to really sort of like being around people and, eating everything in sight. Remember that, and I tweeted this weekend, that Federal Election Commissioner Matthew Peterson, who went before a committee to be a district judge, and he didn't know anything about courtroom. He never tried a trial and all of that. If you can find it at RFH Bill. I posted the video of that. As it turns out, we could be proud. He is a former staffer to the late Senator Bob Bennett and a graduate of Brigham Young University.
Is he really?
Yeah. He earned his bachelor's degree at BYU and got a law degree from the University of Virginia. And he did not come across well.
No, I don't know that. I don't know that. I'll have to look into that.
I could have swore if I just showed up and been a white male Republican that they would give me something, but apparently not.
The Anita Hill has been selected to lead a Hollywood commission on sexual harassment.
Really?
Yeah, the commission will be headed by Anita Hill, composed of and funded by some of the most powerful names in Hollywood. It's been created to tackle the widespread sexual abuse and harassment in the media and entertainment industries. And women are not happy with Matt Damon.
Yep.
He should have kept his mouth shut.
Yep, he stepped in it.
Matt Damon, thinking he knows what all, he started talking about the various ranges,
the degrees
of sexual harassment, and his former girlfriend, Minnie Driver, among others, said, Matt,
shut up.
Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea. And finally this. You remember the guy in A Christmas Story? Farkas.
With the dogs?
Yeah. No, Farkas was the guy with the yellow eyes and the coonskin cap, I believe. Zach Ward. Am I right, Richie?
Yeah.
Isn't that his character, Farkas, the bully?
Yeah, Farkas.
Oh.
His first name? Scut, not Scott. I learned that over the weekend.
Farkas.
Scut Farkas.
Yep.
His name is Zach Ward, the actor who plays him. There's a picture of him. Actually, he's turned into not a bad-looking man, a redhead.
With that asterisk, redhead.
And
for a redhead?
So, people from that movie, A Christmas Story, that are still around. Unfortunately, what's his name who played the dad? Darren McGavin. Thank you, Kerry. Darren McGavin, who was so brilliant in almost everything he did, he's not living anymore. But, so when the Christmas time runs around, people have the tendency to seek these actors out and ask them questions.
Sure.
So somebody asked Zach Ward, you still get royalties from A Christmas Story? And he said, yeah, I do. But it's you're going to be disappointed. He said it's not much.
He's not retired on Christmas Story?
I get about $1,800 every 2 years, and it comes in Canadian money because we shot the movie in Canada. And he said, so what do you do with it? He said, well, I take it and I put it in a special account in case my mom needs it in the future.
Aww.
So it's like a little account for Ward, who was 13 years old when he starred in the Christmas classic as Scut Farkas, said he still gets stopped on the street by people. They recognize me somehow.
Really?
Yeah. They recognize me. They come up to me and says, you got your ass kicked by Ralphie. And it makes them so happy, and I think they're connecting to themselves as that little kid who had a bully. And when they saw Scut Farkas get beaten up, they were just like, yeah! He's working, what he does now, he works with All Sports Market and Global Sports Financial Exchange, developing sports exchanges that allows fans to buy and trade shares in their favorite sports teams. Sounds a little shady.
Boner Fight with Radio from Hell on X96.
Oh, he just started a new... He was in American Horror Story, apparently, the latest season. All right. It's time for Boner Fight. Here we go. The winner of round 1, which will go up against the winner of round 2. Round 1 was... He didn't just investigate it, he lived it. A House Ethics, that's a congressional, the Congress. He's an ethics investigator. Apparently he abused and assaulted 2 women during a bar brawl. So he didn't just investigate it, he lived it. It's Boner candidate number 1. Going up against Boner candidate number 2. Okay, I am pretty liberal, but there are some things that just go too far. This is the story of a woman who quit her job to breastfeed her boyfriend every 2 hours. She wants this, what they call an adult breastfeeding relationship. That's number 2.
You've got to decide which one of these 2 is the worst. Which one is Boner of the day? 1 or 2? Put the candidate number in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. You can go to x96.com, look for the box that says Boner Fight December 18 on it. If you don't see that box, refresh. It should appear. Or you can call, use your voice to vote, 877-602-9696. You only got 4.5 minutes to get your vote in. It's Boner of the Day.
The music starts at 10 with a 1-hour nonstop music wingding on X96.
Looking for a great deal on a smartphone for a gift this holiday season? Well, you don't.
We found a pair, my wife found a pair, I should say, of clown shoes at the DI. A giant
Sad
pair.
dead clown.
That's immediately what I thought was dead clown.
How else do they end up
I went right to dead
what's
clown.
Sad, what's sad about a dead clown? That is a day of celebration.
Depends on where you find him.
Yeah.
If you find him in the forest, that's kind of sad.
It's a gigantic pair. I think they were, I'll take a picture of them and present them next week.
She bought them?
Yeah, for my kid. Giant pair of, they're plastic, but they're meant to be, you can wear them. A giant pair, and I think they're pastel, like baby blue clown shoes.
Is there a law that says clown shoes should always be red?
That's what I thought.
That's
what I thought.
They're red. The
me
nose is red. The shoes are red.
It seems to me they were, yeah.
And was he excited about the clown shoes?
Thrilled.
Congressman Bozo would like to put forth the following law. The clown shoes will always be red.
You know, I proposed this many years ago. I think we should have a National Clown Day where everyone in the United States, by law, everyone, by law, is required to wear a clown costume. And I mean everyone, from the president to the members of Congress.
You wouldn't do that.
If it was a law,
you
would
have
stay
to.
home.
Police officer in your home, people could come and knock. Authorities would come and knock on your door, dressed as clowns, and say,
clown check.
Are you? Yeah, exactly. Are you in there? If you're not dressed as a clown, you're going to clown jail.
You see, this is why Bill would be an excellent Republican. He fails to see the constitutionality, and that's why
the Constitution is suspended for one
day.
One day, maybe a week. A week.
What is the purpose of everybody being a clown?
It would humble all of us. It would humble all of us. We would all become clowns.
That's why you won't do it.
I can see exactly.
I think National Clown Week, and everyone has to dress as a clown for an entire week. You'd have to go to old folks' homes and dress the retirees and the shut-ins as clown. Even if it meant just as something as simple as just putting a nose on them.
Question.
Yes.
What about people in comas?
Yes.
Because they need to be humbled. If you've ever met a bunch of people that are
surgeons, people performing surgery, and the patients, everyone. All right. And now a surgeon, he couldn't wear the big dumb gloves, but he could maybe have to have a nose on under the mask. All of that.
All right.
Right. I think I'm gonna. You elect me. You elect me the mayor of Salt Lake. I'll start it in Salt Lake. It'll be Salt Lake Clown Week, and everyone in Salt Lake will have to dress as a clown.
Now, luckily, I live in unincorporated Salt Lake, so
that's you'll be. But if you come into my city,
all right,
no clowning around.
Oh.
All right.
That's where the term clown fever will come from. People who are sick and won't come in.
Barberry. What you got there is Radio from Hell on X96.
He is built. Tony the Tiger.
Yeah.
Look at a picture of him. He's got a big chest and big
thin waist.
Yeah.
He's got muscles.
He's cut.
Yeah, he's a tiger, Gina.
No,
he's a tiger. I got a tiger by the tail. It's plain to see.
Time to award your boner.
Yes, and this morning's boner winner will be brought to you by a dish of lasagna, vegetable lasagna, and a glass of water.
Now, wait a minute. In your meat bag, you had a bunch of Italian sausage.
Yes.
Which the perfect place for that would have been in the lasagna.
I'm making something else with that. I wanted vegetable, and my daughter requested a vegetable lasagna because it's tasty. I'm making a new dish with that meat in my meat bag. So you're just trying to stir me up. It ain't working. So we had boner candidate number one, which was, he didn't just investigate it, he lived it. A House ethics investigator abused and assaulted women during a bar brawl, according to a lawsuit. And then boner candidate number two, I'm pretty liberal, but, some things just go too far. It's a woman who quit her job so that she could enjoy an adult breastfeeding relationship with her boyfriend. You have to do that every 2 hours to get to get it going again.
It's commitment.
Yeah. Will that really do it?
I don't know.
I wonder. Huh.
I'm not going to Google that.
Okay.
Feel free
apparently
to
you
Google
have
that.
you have no interest in science. Apparently,
I don't want to be attached to all the email I'm going to get from other things later because I Googled. Can you?
If you could just go to Wikipedia. All right. The winner, by about double the votes, boner candidate number 2. Yeah. I'm pretty liberal, but some things go just too far.
I thought so too. There you go.
Well, I think you can, because there were wet nurses at one time in history.
You'd have a wet nurse when she would have her own child and then just keep it going.
I don't know that I mean, well,
you
I
keep
don't know.
it going.
I'll look it up later because science.
Just DM Dr. Leah Torres and she'll tell you.
Yeah,
she knows that stuff.
Yeah.
She might be listening right now and probably going to reach out to her.
I want to know because science.
That's it.
Yeah, science. I can't think of any other reason to know. I'm just curious. Yeah.
I'm going to change the subject.
Okay, please do.
With a great tip for you.
Yeah.
Life-changing tip.
Yeah?
All right. If you celebrate New Year's at home.
Yeah, usually I do.
Where is it that you go to find out when it's midnight?
Yeah, well, you watch Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve.
Usually Dick Clark.
Yeah.
No, he's gone. Ryan.
Yeah,
it's
Ryan.
Yeah, but it's still Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve.
I won't watch it.
At all?
No.
What? So how do you know when it's midnight?
I look at my cell phone.
No, you need you gotta have a countdown and All Lang Syne and all that. You can't just look at your phone and go, well, it's midnight.
Okay, this year I'm sure there's some radio broadcast that does the ball dropping from Times Square. That's what I'll do.
Well, I've got the answer for you here.
Okay.
Here's what you do. Let me find this here real quick. Sorry, I should have been prepared. Here we go. All right.
In the air tonight.
Man, I love this.
Now,
song.
what you do,
especially with the gorilla video,
is at 11 minutes or at 11:56:44. So that's 56 minutes and 44 seconds.
Okay.
You start that song.
Does the ball drop
because
when
then
the drum solo?
At midnight, you get the drums. You get the doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. That's how you'll know it's midnight.
Okay.
So that's
I want you to do this, Bill. Since
I just retweeted that. That's from a record store in Maine called Bull Moose.
Somebody figured that out.
And they figured it out. So if you start it at 11:56 and 44 seconds, just before midnight, at midnight is doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. So there you go. You don't have to Dick Clark.
You're kissing during the drums. That's the other thing that happens. It's not just midnight. Then you're supposed to kiss.
We take pots and pans out on beat on them.
Ew.
You're supposed to do that to scare away the bad spirits that might be lingering.
Well, clearly it's not working.
No. I didn't do it last year. Maybe that's the problem.
Oh, it's your fault then.
Have you ever seen the video it was a Cadbury commercial that they did in Britain using this song, and it's a gorilla playing the drums?
No.
Wow.
Google it. Just Google "In the Air Tonight" Cadbury.
All right.
It is hilarious and brilliantly done. It's a guy in a gorilla suit. But it's
not
so
a real gorilla playing the drums.
No, but it's so good. You think it's a real gorilla playing the drums.
You'd like to think it's a real gorilla. All right. So there you go. That's a new way to celebrate New Year.
Now I'm watching
Now you're watching.
Yeah, kind of have to. But you'll get the gist of it without the sound. It's
I know
great.
the song.
I know you do, Gina. That's not the
listening.
point I was making.
All right. Let's see. We'll take a break. We'll be back. First, got to tell you about Haster Games and Hobbies.
Please do.
HasterGames.com is the website. Here, let me get rid of this one. Sorry, Haster. Phil Collins underneath you. Here's the things that you probably know somebody who's into board games like Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, or Pokemon.
My kids are just learning Dungeons and Dragons.
My guess is that they already know about Haster Games. So here's what you do is you go down there, 6831 South State, and get a gift certificate because you're going to go in and try to guess what would be a good gift for them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they'd be able to help you,
Yeah.
but gift certificate's really the way to go. But their inventory, including these hot items, is now available at Haster Games. The Unstable set is available. The Explorers of Islan are available. Magic the Gathering gift box set. And if they're a D&D fan, they need Xanathar's Guide to Everything.
Oh.
So I do the gift certificates, like I said, and Haster carries the best selection of all the latest board games and Magic products. They will also buy pre-owned board games and Magic products as well. They're open 7 days a week. Remember, Haster has it, 6831 South State, or go online to hastergames.com.
X96 invites you to help people experiencing homelessness this holiday season. Tonight, almost 3,000 people, including 800 children, will be safe and warm in the Road Homes Emergency.
I ate a 100-day-old steak.
Good for you.
100-day-old meat?
Good for you.
we
Didn't
went-
even give you any pause at all.
What? No, because there was lots of wine before it happened. So we went to, and I never know how to say it. It's either Veneto or Veneto.
How do you spell it?
Veneto.
Veneto.
But I think
you're
but I think it might be
Italian. You should
Veneto.
No, it's
I don't-
Veneto. Veneto.
And Joe said it's the best meal he's ever eaten in Salt Lake, and he's eaten a lot of good meals. It's mostly lost on me because cheese, and I'm dumb. But the owner, Marco, came out and he said, I want to give you this 100-day aged T-bone, as the New York strip on one side and the filet on the other.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so big, the whole table can share it.
Wow.
And he brought it out to the table, like before he cooked it, just to show us.
Raw meat right here.
Yeah. And it looked like you just pulled it out of the meat counter. It was red, and when he's telling me it's 100 days old.
Mm-hmm.
And then he showed us a piece of what he cut off the top of it.
And?
Which was like 2 inches of
what?
Like green and white.
Where did he have that in his pocket?
No,
did he pull it out of his pocket?
He was just holding it all together. Whatever the rind it creates on it after you leave it out.
Okay.
I wanted you. I'm telling you this so you guys.
You're
be
looking
proud
for
of me.
a pat on the back?
Yes. And he's like, now I'm gonna go back and cook it,
Come
but
here,
I
come
just
here.
show.
There you go. All right.
So she.
I totally ate it.
She's looking for a pat on the back for eating a $50 steak. It was more than that. It was. She's looking for a pat on the back.
But four people
for
shared
eating-
it. 4 people shared
for eating a $100 steak.
And
it was. I've never tasted anything like it.
It was that good.
And it's not. It's not even like it was steak. It was like it was a whole other.
A whole other level of
thing.
You're looking for a pat on the back for leading a privileged lifestyle.
we
Well,
were-
way to go!
We were 4 people that shared this one steak. It was. We all just had little bits of it, but.
You way to go, 1%er.
What you got there is Radio from Hell on X96.
All right, it's 9:49.
You know, I'm worried about Dylan and his extra job.
Gina, why are you worried? Dylan sometimes drives for Lyft.
So your Lyfts and your Uber drivers, because I always think, you know, if you're out driving on Friday and Saturday night and you're picking people up, what if they puke in your car?
Yeah.
Well, this is even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The University of Kansas published a research paper a couple of days ago that looked at 766 cities in 43 states over several years to try to figure out how many people have called Uber or Lyft over an ambulance when they needed it.
Oh, that's okay.
And apparently, there's been a almost 10% decline in calls to ambulances since those services have been available.
Well, that's good. Then you know that you're helping mankind.
Because it's way cheaper to call Lyft or Uber than an ambulance.
I got a gunshot wound, but I might bleed in your car.
But Dylan, what would you do if you go to pick somebody up and they're like holding a big bloody rag to their forehead?
I'd call 911. I think is what I do.
No, I can't afford an ambulance.
It would be an Ogden resident. Somebody had hit him in the head with a rock.
Or a beer bottle.
Yeah, a beer bottle or a rock.
I don't know. Well, I don't like that pressure. I wouldn't want that pressure.
But you couldn't say no. I
guess not.
I don't think. I mean, you would have to say, well, I've got to help this person.
You can refuse to pick somebody
up.
Yeah,
but I mean, in that case,
they're going to give you a bad review.
Your record.
I was bleeding, and he wouldn't pick me up.
Yeah, I mean, the milk of human kindness. You might say, "Oh, I've got to help this person."
But I wonder what's your responsibility? I mean, seriously, like if they're really hurt or really sick, and they like die in your car on the way to the hospital,
Gina, you were off the hook. They called you. They enlisted your service.
I don't know.
Yeah,
you get a crazy family involved. They're going to blame you for why didn't you take the freeway? You took side streets.
Or why didn't you call an actual medical professional? They might. I mean, I guess I would hope that they would sue the company and not me personally. But keep watching for the courts for this battle to...
something will happen.
It's interesting. That's an interesting situation.
You know, what I take away from this story is, hey, that's a good idea.
You're just going to call Uber next time you have to go to the hospital?
I've had to call ambulances before. Next time, I'm just going to call Uber or Lyft.
Yeah.
It's way cheap. Listen, I had a $500, or I think it was even more than that, ambulance bill one time. And I won't go into why that happened, but... and it was ridiculous.
People texting in $1,000 for an ambulance versus $15 for Lyft.
Yeah.
$150 cleaning fee for Uber, less for Lyft. Also required by law to help in a life-threatening situation.
Oh, Uber and Lyft is?
It's a felony if you turn them down.
All right.
See, that's what
I might need to find another
job.
Because here's the thing: I work here because I have no skills or abilities to take care of things. That's why I have this job. So I don't like...
Well, then we're firing you.
Listen, none of you have any ability to deal with real world either. That's why we all work here.
Yeah. None of us could do a real job.
Yeah, I don't...
Sorry, I'm just worried about you, Dylan.
No,
That's
I'm nervous.
Okay.
Speaking of no skills...
Oh yeah, John Smith is...
Burn.
Whoa.
You think I have no skills. You think.
You got skills?
I got kicked out of a store over the weekend.
John Smith, you did?
This does not surprise me.
This is the kind, and I'm not going to tell you what store.
Yeah, don't tell us
what. We're not going to use any names.
Okay, but why did this happen, John Smith?
And every so often, I feel like I'm doing good at this whole adulting thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my bills are paid, my car's full of gas, and then the next thing you know, I'm getting thrown out of a store for riding a bike.
Riding a bike in the store.
Yeah, they don't like it when you do that.
Was it one of their bikes?
Yeah. Well, technically, no. It was one of their bikes that I just had purchased.
So it was your bike?
So I purchased the bike in the back of the store. They have registers throughout the retail establishment. Yeah. So I bought the bike, and I say to the cashier, "Hey, can I ride this out?" And she says, "It's your bike." So off I go.
Well, you had permission then.
And the next thing you know, I've got store associates all over me, told me to get off the bike. And they thought I was stealing the bike because I was.
Well, they didn't know that.
No. They were mad that I was just riding the bike in the store. But then they were like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "Well, I'm heading out to my car. I'm leaving.
This is not safe."
And so the conversation went, "Well, is that your car?" I was picking up the bike, so I parked in a loading zone.
Yeah.
And I said, "It sure is." And they said, "You have to move it." And I said, "Okay." So I took my bike out and put it in the car and got in the car and I left. So
that settles it. I am never going to Walmart again.
Walmart? No, it wasn't. It wasn't a store.
Okay.
It was just a nameless retail establishment.
It was just a joke. Walmart sells bikes.
They do?
I think they sell everything.
Oh.
They sell
aircraft carriers.
I need one of those.
Turkey guns.
Imagine how much trouble you'd get in for riding an aircraft carrier.
You can get a turkey gun there.
But I thought I was kind of proud of myself. I'm 39 years old. I'm still getting kicked out of places.
Good for you.
I've still got it.
John, there's no doubt in my mind. None of us have ever thought that you were not obnoxious. Never. Don't worry, you're still obnoxious.
I just want to know that I've still got that spark. You know what I mean?
Yes, you do. I could have told you that without you riding a bike in a store.
Promo?
Yeah.
On Tuesday's Radio from Hell show,
our X poll begins at 6:45. The question, what common foods have you never eaten? Think now, call tomorrow.
At 8 a.m., fingers crossed, Punk will be by with a movie review and junk food update. Crom bless.
Then at 9 a.m., it's Tuesday Tunes with Todd.
It's all on Tuesday's Radio from Hell show on X96.
All right.
Common food.
You know, like Carrie knew somebody that never had a strawberry.
Yeah.
One of my neighbors has never had a hot dog.
Yeah, like that.
My wife has never had chicken nuggets.
I still don't believe that.
I can't believe somebody's never had a hot dog.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's un-American.
That is weird.
He's not American.
Ah.
There you go. There you go. You got refugees living in your neighborhood. That's what happens. Hot dog sales go down.
I can't even ride a bike from the back of the store to the front of the store without.
Yep, that's enough.
Just saying.
All right.
Going on.
Yeah, live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
You know, it's a turkey gun.
Right.
John Smith is next.
Come on, keep listening.
A 1-hour nonstop music wingding starts now. Utah's original alternative, X96.